evening thing. It's very great that you have made it to Saturday evening. You could have done a lot of other things, but it is here. You are here to attend these things, so it shows that you are interested to learn web development, especially web app development. We don't say it web app development, but this is what we specialize in, teaching in web app development. Okay, and I was going through a lot of chat on the WhatsApp groups which we have. We have a new WhatsApp group, and a lot of people were chatting, and some of them were quite new to this thing. They are like not from the IT background, and they were asking that what part to follow and all those things. So and some people were suggesting, okay, go to this code with Harry channel and all those things. So those non-IT people and those people who want to get into IT and all, they don't know what is this code to Harry. Even they go there, they will confuse. See, internet is full of everything, so there is an over explosion of everything. Whatever we teach also, that is there on internet. Even better, there might be some better teacher will be there, but the thing is that you need to know a path, the path which you have to follow. So in the 6 month, you will get a job as a web app developer. So that 6 month path you need to know, and we actually help in you getting to that part. We show you the direction. It is not like that we only show that direction to our paid students. Yeah, we have paid courses also, but we tell everything on YouTube. In fact, we are not a big channel, so you might have seen we have 3.5K subscribers also, but we were able to give job to 3 people from our YouTube channel. From our paid workshop, it's a different thing, but from our YouTube channel only, we are able to give job to 3 people, and one of them being a mechanical engineer. So how did he get a job? Because he followed, which we told. And for the next half an hour, we're not going to teach HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That we are going to teach. But for the half an hour, we want to tell what path you have to take. What is this web app development which I'm telling? What should you do? Means even a lot of people will know everything, like they know HTML, CSS. Some other people are telling that, okay, we know HTML, CSS, we want to learn JavaScript. Some people are telling, okay, go for Python. I've done this Python thing and all. So what are the parts? What are the different parts are there? So all those things. So those who don't know me, I'm Nabin Vishwas. I'm the founder and the main trainer in TWD. Okay, so you might have not heard from me a lot because you have heard from our another teacher whose name is Mosam. Okay, so that is there. So I was playing that motivational quotes for a reason. The motivational quotes were played because if you're coming from non-IT background, you need motivation. See, coders or developers, as they're said in the list, they're paid like they're paid in gold. But they're paid in gold for a reason. They're paid in gold for a reason because it's tough. It's really tough. It's not that much easy. People will find it easy, means maybe if you do HTML and CSS, you'll find it easy. But the moment you will go to JavaScript, you'll find it very tough. I've seen in the chat a lot of people were just giving the W3C school site of JavaScript. Give that to a non-IT person, he will not able to understand that. JavaScript will bounce over his head. Okay, so JavaScript, HTML, CSS, all most of the things will bounce over his head. There's so much over information, explosion of information is there. Most of them will not understand. Most of them will not understand the part. So for the next half an hour, I'm going to tell you the path and all. Okay, I'm going to tell you the paths, what you have to take, what you have to do, and a lot of people also might need the certificate. So that a lot of someone has asked also. So we're going to give the certificate also. There will be attendance two times, and how we will take the attendance, that also I'm going to show. We are going to take attendance 2 times. Once one towards 3:30 and one towards the end. So you have to give both of the attendance sheets. It will be Google form automated. You give enter your things and it will be recorded. You'll get this thing, and you might get the certificate by tomorrow, because a lot of people, like more than 50-60 people attend this thing every weekend, and it takes time to create those certificates, because we don't have an automated process to create those certificate. Okay. Yeah, good afternoon all. Okay, so that is there. Let me share my screen, and a lot of you actually have, I think Masam have shared my about me also, my LinkedIn profile. But then also let me take you through my LinkedIn profile. A lot of you have not seen my LinkedIn profile, so this is my LinkedIn profile, and actually this is live on LinkedIn also, so it is showing like this. Okay, that is okay. So but please watch it here only, because I give the chat on LinkedIn. My software doesn't give the chat on LinkedIn, but it is live on LinkedIn also. If someone is watching from LinkedIn, please do come and watch on my YouTube channel. It will be great support to the channel. Okay, so who am I? So my name is Nabindu Visas. I am a React.js teacher. I'm a corporate trainer also. So corporate trainer means all. What? Corporate trainer means the people who teaches freshers who just get into the industry. I teach in big service companies also. I teach in startups also, just fresh college graduates, to teach them be to work in those companies, because the graduates who are passing, they don't know anything. Literally half of them don't know anything, and they're not up to company standard. Maybe they know a bit of HTML, maybe know not a bit of CSS, maybe they know a bit of JavaScript, but that is not what the industry needs. Okay. And some people know Python, and some people know a lot of things, but that is not the industry needs. Okay. And I was not a corporate trainer always. This is my next. I became a corporate trainer, full-time corporate trainer, and a React.js teacher, and in September 2021. Before that, I have spent 16 years in the industry. 16 years in the IT industry. I have spent now, so it is the IT industry. I am an IT trainer, so it is in the IT industry also. Although I have changed role from an architect, my previous job was an associate architect. My associate architect are like technical people who are like that. I don't know how many of you have watched the movie Matrix. The bad guy in the Matrix. I am not that bad. The bad guy in the Matrix movie, in which Keanu Reeves meet him and he constructed all the Matrix. He's the architect. So architects construct big software products and all. So I was also one of those. I left the industry at the top of my career, so to concentrate on my training thing, because I love teaching people to code and all those things. That is not an easy thing to do. Okay, so not all developers are teachers, because it's a very difficult thing to do. I'm a plus author also. You go to my link, so you'll see that I have written a lot of technical things. Again, that is not an easy thing, because developers are not good at technical writing and all. Okay, so that is there. And you can go through this. As I've told, September 2010, I have become a JavaScript teacher and the founder of TWD. And I'm working currently operating from my hometown of Bhopal, but I have worked mostly in metros like Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore. Last I was in Bangalore, so I have my YouTube channel also, as you know, an A+ author. And this was my last company, man. Before that, I have worked in a lot of other companies like this. This IBM was the previous company, and then I worked in JP Morgan also, Oracle also, and started with the government company, which was CDAC. Okay, so that's about me. So, and please do come to my LinkedIn profile, and please do check it out also. Okay, so please do come to my LinkedIn profile, and you all can connect with me. Okay, if I connect with me, that also I will tell. Please do connect with me. It will be helpful for you. And then this is my company, TWD, a fully registered company. We pay our GST and all. So we have everything. We pay our GST. We may be a training company, but we have a bit of consulting and services also. So currently we have 2 employees. So like that. Okay. So this is our company. This is our company webpage, and as I've told, you are going to get some attendance sheet like this. Okay, this is a Google form in which you have to come. You have to come and you have to give your email, give the correct email, or else the certificate can't be sent in the correct email address, because you're going to get the certificate through your email. Okay, and then you have to give your name, then you have to give your current profession, and then you have to give your LinkedIn profile. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile, keep write that you don't have a LinkedIn profile. But LinkedIn profile, I'll urge you all to make a LinkedIn profile. Okay, so LinkedIn profile, please give like this. Okay, please give like this. LinkedIn profile, you enter like this completely, or else some people only write their name. See, either you are very popular like me, then you can give your LinkedIn like this, and then I can get it. But I don't think a lot of you have this many connections like me. 20,857. Actually, I'm a LinkedIn influencer also. This is, I am on the highest side of the connection. This I built over the time. So I have around 21,000 of connection, which is a lot, because 30,000 is the LinkedIn cap. So 21,000 means it's a lot. So if you search my name also, you'll get it easy, very easily you get. And why this 20,000 is 21,000 is important, I will tell you about that also, and soon. And why you should give your LinkedIn profile, that is also something which I will tell. Okay, so that is there. And So as I told, I will tell you the path and all. I'll tell you the path, what is the path, and what is a web app developer, why you should be a web app developer. And a lot of people are confused that they should do HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I've seen something that people are telling a Python and all those things. So what you should learn means a college graduate is really very confused. And some people will tell you to okay PHP, learn PHP. In my I have come to Bhopal, and here a lot of people say PHP, and all because a lot of government companies works on PHP, but there are no jobs in PHP. Okay, so that is there. So what is this web development? And I'm using a tool. I'll soon. This is a mind map tool. Okay, so what is web development actually? Web development consists of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and actually there are two types of web development. One is this web development, and one is this, I should have changed it to web development. So one is this web development, which is mainly done through HTML and CSS. In fact, not even HTML and CSS. All of you might have heard the thing known as WordPress. It is mainly done through WordPress. So WordPress, and then a bit of HTML, CSS is required to change those things. A bit of changes and all those things comes. So this kind of developer are known as web developers and all. So and they create really small sites, like what, like maybe a site for a kirana store, maybe a site for your some local, some other people, means some construction company, maybe a construction company come to and they will tell you okay I just need a site, and those are known as static site, pamphlet site. They will only have one thing, either they will have a contact form at the end, or they will have the number or visit the site like this, that site like this and all. So they are very ordinary sites. So they are made through WordPress. Nowadays they are not even made through HTML, CSS, but sometimes a bit of HTML, CSS is required. But the thing, first thing is that there is no money in that. If you go to a company, how much you will get? At most, I have a lot of WordPress developer who come to me to teach, yeah, to learn JavaScript and all those things. Okay, so certificate that link will be given in this live chat only. Okay, I forgot to tell, in this live chat only it will give. Okay, this live chat only will give, and as I told, it will first one will give a bit later on. Okay, so that is there. And so HTML and CSS. So HTML and CSS only you will learn HTML and CSS. So then you'll become a web developer. You'll become a web developer only learning HTML, CSS, and WordPress also. Of course, WordPress also you have to learn for that. And I don't teach that. If you want to learn those things, a lot of other YouTube channels are there in which you should not learn HTML, CSS. You should learn WordPress. Then you should learn WordPress. You as a freelancer you might make in the starting 2-3,000 rupees, and you can eventually go to 15-20,000 rupees, but not more than that. Because freelancing there is also a lot of competition, although those sites are small, a lot of competition is there. In your city there will be 100 agencies to do those WordPress sites. Okay, any cities, any small big cities you go, there will be 100 agencies to do those things, but there are not people to do this thing. What about web app development? Web app development, first thing is regarding JavaScript, and when JavaScript comes, people are really scared. Even the people, I have seen people with 5 years of WordPress development, they come and they see JavaScript, they get scared. Okay, so that is, there is nothing to scare, only you have to do hard work. That's why the video was played at the starting. Okay, so JavaScript is there, and then JavaScript is actually not enough. So a lot of people on the chat were telling JavaScript and all. JavaScript is not enough. With JavaScript you have to know React also. Okay, React also you have to know, but you have to know all these things. Okay, because React is not completed without HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Without HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, there is no React. So in our channel we will, so please have patience, we'll give the attendance at around 3:30 p.m. Okay, so we'll give it the around attendance at around 3:30 p.m. If you just came, we will give attendance through this sheet. You are seeing this sheet, we'll give this form. I will do a send like this, and I will do a shorten URL, and I will paste this URL on the live chat only, and then you have to make the attendance. Okay, so please have a bit of patience. Okay, you'll get the attendance, so you're not running away with your certificate. Okay, so that is we are here to give the certificates, but don't go only after the certificate. Okay, you get the certificate, then what? If you want a job or not, you just want a certificate to show, what you will do, just show the certificate. Okay, it is good, we are a registered company, show the certificate, and I will even show you how to show the certificate. It will be very helpful how to show the certificate. I will show that thing. Okay, so wait a sec, I will show that thing. So I was telling that we teach people to become a web app developer because that is the only way to get a job nowadays in a very good startup and get paid like really well. Means people ask me, okay, in the starting how much I will get. In the starting, you will not get paid much. Maybe you have to work for 10-15,000 rupees also. But within 1 year, if you have this thing in your resume, React.js in your resume, you get paid around 10 lakh per annum package. That is for sure. Nobody can stop you to get 10 lakh per annum package if you have even 1 years of experience of React.js, because people don't get React.js developer. Why people don't get React.js developer? Because React.js developers only make something like this. You're seeing this thing, which I'm like showing you all these things. Black mode mind map. This is known as a web app. This is not a website. This is not your Kirana store website. This is a web app. LinkedIn is not a website. LinkedIn is a web app, very complicated web app. So that's the reason top brains of the world works on LinkedIn. Top brains of the world work on Facebook. Facebook is not a website. Facebook is a web app. All those things are web app. The age of desktop apps has gone at around 12 years ago in 2010 when Facebook was released. Nowadays there is no desktop app. You'll see very little desktop app. Maybe means something like VS Code and something like that, some terminal and all those things, which comes most of the time inbuilt or free. So those are there, but most of the things are web app. All the sites you see, they are web app, they are not normal website. So that's why Facebook pays the most in the world, the Google pays the most in the world. Everything is a web app. Google, this I'm using a Google form. It's not a website. See, it is on the web, but it's a complicated office application. It's an office application. It is something like never been done. You just give all of your thing. You'll just click the send, and I will get your data, and I can even convert it into Excel sheet, Google Excel sheet. So this is a complicated piece of software, and most part of it is made in the front end. See, front end means is important because all of these things, there's something known as a full stack developer also, but I don't suggest people to go in the starting in that. But if you want, we have on channel that also. So the backend, see, backend might be made in something, but here some of the people might be very they might be coming from a non-IT background. Don't be scared with that. Only learn these four things. Only learn these four things. Don't go after the PHPs. Don't go after the Python and all. So there are not that much job in that. So every job, every startup which you see nowadays, they're paying so much. Every multinational is paying so much. They have most of the jobs are in React, and there is something else known as Angular, but most jobs are in React. React is a JavaScript library which is used to create this complicated kind of thing. It is not that much complicated, and we generally on a channel teach HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React.js. Those are our main things because those are the things which will get you a web app developer job. Those are the things which we teach. Okay, so you have to learn only these things, only these four things you have to learn. Don't go for Pythons, don't go for PHPs and all those things. Okay, you have to learn only these four things. And those who are interested, I can give the playlist also. In what order you have to follow, I will give the playlist also if you are interested. And please come if you ask for it. If you want some mentorship also, we provide that also. Okay, how to differentiate between websites and web app. So so all those small things are websites, and all those big things are web app. Every big thing is a web app. Like everything in which the data is stored somewhere, everything in which, okay, a very good question. Just a small thing, if you log into some place, if you log in or register to some place, that is a web app. That cannot be done in a website because we have to store the customer data. When I go to LinkedIn, I have my profile. I have to log in somewhere. I have to log in into this. So this is a profile. Okay, so that is there. So everything is a web app nowadays. Means I'm using a streaming software. Using a streaming. Okay, let me also show that thing. Okay, so I'll take it back. I'm using, you're seeing this thing. I'm using a complicated streaming software, very complicated streaming software. Okay, so what is this made of? This is, in earlier days, this all these things used to be your there. Some of you might have heard of OBS something. If you do streaming and also, they are all this desktop app, but this is a web app. This is a very complicated web app. This is, at least this kind of web apps takes at least 1 or 2 years to make. And this kind of thing, I have a lot of controls here. I can control a lot of things here. Chat and all those things are there. So these are complicated web apps. These are not made by 1 or 2 people, because I have worked on most of the things. I've worked on Uber kind of web apps also for companies. Okay, so they takes at least 1 to 2 years to prepare, and team of at least 20 to 30 front end engineers, 10 back end engineers, 10 DevOps. So it is like the 50 people team create these things like this. And in LinkedIn and also LinkedIn, Facebook, they have like 10,000 people working on only one thing. Facebook. Facebook is the most complicated piece of software out there. So okay. Why not learn Angular? Because React.js and Angular, both of them are competitors, and React.js is 100 times more popular than Angular. Okay, after learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, learn React.js. So it is like that. If there are 10 jobs are there for an engineer, 7 jobs belong to React.js, only 2 jobs belong to Angular, and only 1 job belong to Vue.js. Actually, there is another thing, and all of them are JavaScript libraries or framework. So only 2 jobs belong to Angular, 7 jobs belong to React.js. Why? Because React.js is 100 times more easier than Angular. So the people in the startup ecosystem, they don't work on Angular. Not a single company works on Angular. On the top of it, the world had moved to React a long time back. All these companies, except there are something known as FANG. All of you might have heard that is a very common term. FAANG, FANG. Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google. Every company except Google uses React. Every company except Google. Why Google uses Angular? Because Google is the creator of Angular and Facebook is the creator of React. So that's why. But even I have people in Microsoft also. Microsoft also create all of its product nowadays in React also. All of this product, everything has moved to React like 5-6 years back, and Angular lost the war 5-6 years back to React. So React is the future and everything. Okay. So I don't have any knowledge of so what is solid framework and React. What solid framework? I don't know what is solid framework. Okay, so I don't know because I'm into this React.js world for a long time, and everything is there in React.js only. Means maybe the competitor is for React.js is Angular and Vue.js and nothing else. And there was another competitors like everything JavaScript library only can come. Okay, remix. I have heard this term, but I'm not gone to it. Remix. What is this remix actually? Oh, you are asking about Web3. Okay, I'm not much into Web3 and all. Okay, so Web3 and all, I'm not much into Web3 and all. So Web3, whatever people say right now, there are not much job. Maybe I will explore that in the next year because it is not right now. Web3 is very mature and it is changing very fast. Now people don't know whether everything will go to Solidity, so or everything will go to your Rust. So there are two languages. So the one thing I want to tell, front end mostly, if you go to YouTube also, you'll find some of the videos. Front end also, everything is React. The back end is something which changes with the Web3. Back end is something which changes with Web3, and that is the languages like Rust or Solidity, and then their smart contracts and all those things. Okay, smart contracts and all those things are there. Okay, yeah, yeah, they are using. Even I have Angular tutorial. It is not like that. It is not done. Not production from. It is like MNCs are using. It is not like nothing has gone anywhere. Okay, so when I was working in the industry, sometime means from 2015 to 2022, I worked in this JavaScript world. Okay, so if I was doing 2 projects in React, I was doing 1 project in Angular, and you will find Angular tutorial on my channel also. Why I have kept Angular tutorial? Because I will tell one thing, all the service companies 50% projects are in Angular. Why? Service companies generally get maintenance projects. Service companies means what? Service companies means will give it sometime. Service companies means Infosys, TCS, and all those things. They get maintenance projects. What are maintenance projects? See, a project doesn't end in 1 day or 2 day. Most of the project goes for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. So Angular actually started in 2010 and React started in 2015. So Angular has the head start instead of React. So a lot of every enterprise software started getting created in Angular, and it has got 5 years head start. So all those old projects are there which are in Angular, and even sometimes the new projects are made in Angular. I'm not telling that new projects are not made in Angular. This is made in Angular. This, why this is made in Angular? This is what? This is a Google form. This is made in Angular. All Google products are made in Angular. Google form, YouTube, So all Google products, I don't have to tell them. Google, YouTube, and Gmail, and all those things. But Google is not everything, okay? And Google is not all the products. So everything which belongs to Google, I'm getting thing. Sometimes people like Angular also, so it is not like that you will do Angular, you will not get job. Angular will you'll also get a job, because all the service companies works in Angular mainly, like TCS and all. And I take corporate training. Sometimes I teach Angular also, because some people have projects in Angular also. But I'm telling the most easiest way, and most numbers of jobs are in Angular. You can do your not in Angular, in React. You can do your research. Means maybe okay. Maybe I'll tell. Yeah. Versus Angular versus Vue. React versus Angular versus Vue. Uh, then trends. If you go to trends and all, I don't know whether I will get. Okay. So there is some jobs also. You can see the jobs also. Okay, like this you can do this. Jobs also you can see. So you will see that which is head. Okay, so I'm not going to do now. So we don't have time. Okay, so that is there. Okay, so we'll give the attendance form in 5 minutes. Wait for that. So we have not given attendance form. This is the attendance form which we have not given. This will given in next 5 minutes. We will start with HTML in the next 5 minutes. So as I was telling, please do learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React. If you want to learn Angular, there is no problem to learn Angular. You will get a job in Angular also. It doesn't matter. But Angular is much more tougher, and you will not be able to crack those startup jobs. You will be limited only to mainly the your service industry jobs. Only service industry uses Angular most of the time, and Google is something like a very big thing. Even preparing for the Google job, it takes 2 years. So if you're going Angular, you have only Google job, and you have only the service company job. No startup, no sensible startup even touches Angular, because Angular for me also, I teaches Angular and React both. Angular for me takes around 1.5 months to teach. Angular have so much concept. It is so complicated in comparison to React. React takes me 15 days to teach, only 15 days, and Angular takes 1.5 months to teach. So that much concept is there. No startup has the time to train their people for 1.5 months. Okay, 1.5 months for Angular. Before that, also those HTML, JavaScript are there. So those things are there. Okay, so that's why I'm telling for React.js. Although you'll get jobs in Angular also. Okay, so that is there. And now, as I've told, a lot of people here are from non-IT background. So I'm going to tell about how to become a means how to get into the development industry. So I've told you what things you should learn, but what path you should take. That is something which we need to see. Okay, so as I've told in the chat also that there are 3 secrets to become a web app developer or whatever. Okay, so the thing is that you have to do networking. You have to do networking a lot. So what does networking mean? See, nowadays if you're from a non-IT background, even if you're from an IT background, if you do networking, it is much easier to get a job. Most of our students, means I run paid boot camps also. Most of our student gets job even before they complete the boot camp, because we are after them to complete do this networking thing. How networking, the main part of networking is this LinkedIn. If you have this LinkedIn profile, if you have a lot of things in LinkedIn, okay, so if you have a lot of connection in LinkedIn, okay, so you have to do like uh, because I'm not able to do how to improve. Okay, how to improve? That's a good question. How to improve? Okay, I'll come back to that. How to improve is there is a site known as Front End Mentor. We believe in that site a lot, that Front End Mentor site, and that's why on our channel you'll see that we do a Front End Mentor challenges a lot. There are like Front End Mentor projects a lot. So Front End Mentor site is the closest to the real world it will come, because it gives us something known as the PHP files and all, which the designer generally gives to us. So do a front-end mentor challenges. First, go through some of the videos. Maybe Mosam is there; he can give you some of the videos, or maybe I can give some of the videos. So go through our videos first, then try to do those front-end mentor challenges on your own. CSS takes time to be developed, at least 2 to 3 months. It takes of hard effort. will take hard effort to do CSS. Okay. So do those front-end mentor challenges first on your own, first from our site. Maybe I will give that some link. Maybe I'll have. Okay, so do those front-end mentor challenges first from our YouTube playlist, and those who have already done those, and then do them on your own. So you learn about it. Okay, so for you, I have given you this fundamental challenge. Okay, so let me complete this thing, and so you have to be very good at LinkedIn. So there is something known as coding in public, which is required nowadays if you're from, especially from non-IT background. So my challenge is like, if you post 20 projects on LinkedIn, so you have to post projects also on LinkedIn. You have to do two things on LinkedIn. LinkedIn every week give you 50 connections to add. You have to add all the 50 connections in your neighborhood. In your neighborhood means, if I'm from Mumbai, I will add everyone from Mumbai Pune region. If I'm from Bhopal, I'll add everyone from Bhopal Indore region, because Indore is the IT hub in central India. And if I'm from Bangalore, I'll add Bangalore. Everyone from Bangalore and Hyderabad, maybe Chennai also. So that is how you have to connect on LinkedIn. The other thing is that so okay, I will tell about that. So what about Node.js? If you want, you learn Node.js also. It's a very good thing to learn. The thing is that you will get a job with these three things only. And if you add Node.js, it is like a cherry on top of your ice cream, and you can apply for the Munstack job also. But although the Munstack job is like a myth, so even a small companies do have a front end team different than the back end team. Node.js come at a part of a back end team. So I have never worked in, even companies means I was leading a team of 10 front end engineers, and there were back end engineers very Node.js, so they were different. So we have Node.js also on our channel a lot, because that you'll add, then you can go to this 2-3 people companies also. So sometimes very small companies are like the five, suppose a 5 people companies, 5 people startup is there. So then they will what expect that the front end and the back end to be done by the same person. So then the Node.js is there. So that is the real scenario. Okay, if you go in a startup which are more than, I think, more than 10 people, you'll always find the back end and the front end are different. So if you want, then also if you know Node.js, it will be good. Right now, only one of my student got a job as a Node.js developer. Okay, one of my student, paid student, he got a job as a Node.js developer, and he knows a very little Node.js. Node.js is actually very small. It is 100 times simpler than React.js. So very small. So he got mainly a Node.js job. Okay, so he know, and I teach some one codes also there on my channel also are there. Some one clones are there. So that is more than enough for Node.js. Node.js is a very small thing. Okay. So if you learn Node.js, it's a very good thing. Or if you don't learn Node.js, then also you can do all these four things. It is more than enough. Okay. So what I was telling. Okay. So LinkedIn, Twitter is also very important in the US. Then Instagram is there, and then Facebook groups are there. Facebook groups, Instagram, please do follow some good people, follow some developer, not anyone else. Facebook groups are like, there are a lot of Facebook groups. Like join those Facebook groups, like React.js Facebook group, JavaScript Facebook group. Actually, you'll get a lot of freelancing opportunities there. And daily I go to this Facebook. I don't have that much time, but I see in this Facebook groups, all of these job opportunities comes. Okay, and let me tell a bit more about LinkedIn. So why LinkedIn is very much important, and how we can help. Why we take the LinkedIn thing. See, I'm very big on LinkedIn. So what happens? And I'm very big on LinkedIn. I'm connected to almost every big companies in India, like CEOs, startup CEOs. I get offered CTO role a lot of time. So CEOs and all those things, they are connected with me. CEOs are there, HR people are there, and I keep on getting interview calls now also. Earlier also used to get for all the big companies from Uber and Google and all those things. So those are things are there. So I'm connected to a lot of other people. So things like that happens. Like okay, so backend with Python or PHP or Oracle. You just asked about Node.js. So why you're asking again about backend with Python or PHP or Oracle? What is Node.js actually then? Node.js is also backend language. So don't go for, if you want to learn a backend language, please don't go for Python, PHP, and Oracle is not a backend language. It's a database. Oracle is database. Oracle is not a backend language. It's a database. So I think you don't understand all those things. Please do understand what is this backend thing. What is this backend language? What is the databases? Okay. So that's why I was telling a lot of people are very much confused. If you want to learn Node.js, no, there are actually three, four backend languages. Okay, one is Node.js, one is Java, the most popular, not most popular one, most popular one is Node.js, and then in Python there are two frameworks known as Django and Flask, and PHP is also there, and Oracle is not a backend language. Oracle is a database. Okay, Oracle is a database. Okay, so that is there. So someone is asking what is backend, front end, and all. Backend, front end, and all. Okay, so I think you are a bit new. Okay, some people are asking very tough questions, and some people are asking easy questions, and all these things maybe we can answer later on. But the thing is that let me tell a bit about it, because if someone has asked what is backend and front end, see the web apps which are created, it is not like that much easy. Like what happens with the web apps? See, this is the front end, and most number of jobs are in the front end only. Back end side is sometimes not that much many jobs are there in the back end. Okay, so back end there are not that many jobs, because back end is what? Back end is I've come to this my LinkedIn. So I will come to my home. Okay, I'll come to my home. So all of these posts are there. All of these posts are there. So where are these posts actually situated? Where are these posts actually situated? These posts are actually situated in a database. These posts are in a database. LinkedIn servers are there. LinkedIn big servers. I'm visiting it through a website. I'm visiting it through a web app. I'm visiting it through a web app, and this web app is showing me everything. So all these posts are actually added somewhere. All these posts are actually in some database of LinkedIn. All these posts are in the database of LinkedIn. Okay, so these posts are there, stored in a database. But then you need a backend language like Java or Node.js to have a API endpoints and all those things. Okay, so those are there. Yeah, so there are backend developers are there, there are front end developers are there, and I ask you to become a front end developer. Okay, not a backend developer. Backend developers, the number of jobs are not there that much, and backend development is also a bit more difficult to get into, because most of the things are like front end heavy. If you come here, you see that this complicated UI and this all these things are made by a front end developer. Okay, they are made by a front end developer. So that is like that. Okay, so that is there. So hope I'm clear. And the most popular backend languages are Java, Node.js, and those only are there. So Python are just used by hobbyist programmers. They're not much there. PHP is used by government companies. All those government sites which you go, they are made in PHP, but PHP is again very very slow languages. So big startups don't even touch PHP. Okay, so they are means used at a very very small scale and all. So PHP is a very outdated language. First thing is that it's a very outdated language. Nobody uses it in the industry. So please don't learn PHP if you want, and even don't learn Python. Python has a backend thing. Python also nobody uses. Nobody uses Python. Okay. No, you cannot learn React.js before learning JavaScript. You will be confused with everything. Don't even try that thing. Learning React.js before JavaScript. Okay. So that's why we have HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then we have React. Then we have React. We have all those things on the channel. It's HTML, CSS, JavaScript. We teach generally in that order only. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React. And even we have sometime 2 days boot camp also, in which we teach everything HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React JS. So please learn in that order. Okay, people have asked a lot of questions. That is good. That's good. People have asked a lot of questions. So okay, also let me give this attendance sheet so that you can mark it, because I have not completed it, but people are asking. Mark your first attendance here. Please mark your first attendance here. There will be a second attendance also be given. Okay, so please do that second attendance also you have to attend. Okay, so I have actually not completed it yet, and we have to start with HTML also. We will start with HTML after this. Okay, so as I was telling, please do networking. Network is very much important if you want to get a job. All of our students get because of the LinkedIn. And why we are telling LinkedIn, because I am very big on LinkedIn. I have actually, as I have told, I have around 21,000 connections on LinkedIn. 21,000 is a hell lot of a connection. 30,000 is the LinkedIn limit. I will reach the limit within the next 3-4 months. Okay, that is like that. So please do connect me on LinkedIn and see what happens if you connect me on LinkedIn. What will happen? You are going to, most of my students, they what they do, they means first thing is that, okay, so one thing is that when you get a certificate, when you get a certificate, we generally promote you also. How we promote you? We we congrats you, and that's the reason we are asking for your LinkedIn profile. You give your LinkedIn profile, then only I can tag you. So LinkedIn is also like anything, like at the rate you have to do, and you have to tag them. So I will tag them. So what, when I tag them, so what happens when I tag them? And see, this is a certificate which we did recently, because we have a lot of things happening on this channel. Every week, Monday to Friday, we have at least two certifications going on always, sometimes three also, but most of the time we have two certifications continuously going on. Some CSS certification, something, and sometimes we have in order. So two certifications will always go on. Sometimes three certifications will also happen in the on the weekday. So these are 1 hour long classes. So we recently took this CSS advanced series. Okay, advanced we took, and this 11 people completed it. So we tagged them. So when we tag them, a lot of people come back and see. Every post of me gets around so much views. Okay, so that is there, and so it will be a very good thing for you, because as I've told, I have in connection to almost every big people in the IT industry in India, because I've worked in the industry for so much, and I have so much connections. Okay, so that is there, and so you'll also get that benefit of it. Okay, if I just tag you, so we tag all the people who gets the certificate. So even if you, when you'll get this certificate, we'll tag you around Monday or Tuesday, we'll tag you all. So that is one other thing. And then the other thing which you need to do is you need to put all those projects, like showcase them. Okay, so showcase them, showcase those projects. And this is showcase. Okay, so that is there. And okay, yeah, React is a library, not a framework. You're totally right. Angular is a framework. That's why we don't tell to learn Angular. Angular is very, Angular takes a lot. Okay, Angular takes a lot to learn. React is a very tiny framework, but which has taken the world by a storm. And React is very powerful. That's why it is used in Facebook. Okay, okay, Deepak, it is using Facebook for that reason. Facebook is a very tough website to maintain. Why it's a tough website to maintain? The most toughest web app in the world to maintain is Facebook, not Google or something. You go to just google.com, you search something, you come out. You go to your Gmail, you do something and you come out. But Facebook has 3 billion people on its platform. 3 billion is a lot. 3 billion is a lot. 3 billion is like half of the world's population. It gets more than a crore connection per second. And React is actually faster than Angular. And they use React in Facebook right now on the front end. And so see, React is so powerful that it is handles the Facebook data also. So that is there. And I will tell one more thing. We answers a lot of questions on the Wednesday. We do a Wednesday live at 10 p.m. IST, in which we answer all of your questions related to your career. But then, because we have to, this is not just a thing which I'm talking, because we have to start with HTML also. You all have come here to attend the HTML, CSS, JavaScript. And one thing I will tell you, will be able to complete HTML completely, but CSS takes 5 hours to teach, JavaScript takes 5 hours to teach for us also. That will just touch the surface. That will not learn completely, because it's only 3 hour session. If you want, you can attend the, I think in the next week we are going to have 2 days boot camp, 2 days boot camp, in which we teach everything: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, for 2 days, 16 hours total. 16 hours total we are going to teach. Okay, and we do this once in every month. 16 hours boot camp, 2 days live. We're going to do 8 hours on Saturdays and Sunday. Most probably next. Stay tuned, stay in the groups, stay connected with me, and you'll learn about it. Okay, so that is there, and that is about LinkedIn and all. Okay, I will complete this and answer to Chandan, and then we're going to start with HTML, because Chandan is asking something. Okay, so let me complete this first, because I'm always doing this thing and people are asking a lot of things. Okay, so daily actions are there, and daily actions you need to do. Okay, you need to code 2 hours daily. 2 hours daily you need to code without failing. This is what helped my career to reach such a long high. And a lot of people in my age group, they don't code because they go to do a managerial things or something, but I choose the architect part, which was much more tougher, in which you have to code. And then also I coded daily. I had to manage people. I had to see their code, I have to review their code, but for me coding was not necessary after reaching that point. Okay. But then also I code 2 hours. That's why I'm a trainer right now. So even if you are new in the field, you have to code 2 hours. Coding is not that difficult. If you are from some non-IT background, you have to code 2 hours a day. There's no other way. And some challenges you should take. There is a challenge known as the 100 days of a code challenge, which if you do, it is very very good. Okay. So this, okay, days of code. So this is a 100 days of code challenge. This is a very okay. So this guy. So I have in one of he attended one of this workshop only, and he took it seriously. 100 days of code challenge. Actually, 100 days of code challenge is one of the toughest challenge on the planet, because in this what happens, you have to code daily for 100 days continuous, and you have to code something good for 100 days, and you have to post on this hashtag. It is not easy to code 100 days continuous, because in India, it's especially in India, it is not that much easy, because something or else happens in life. Someone's marriage will come, and even on the 99th day, you will fail to do the 100th day. You will be starting from zero. I have completed this thing. When you complete this thing, the world belongs to you. Means I was taken in, for me, it was interview was taken in one of the top websites in India. Means I've completed this thing. Okay, it was very tough to complete this thing, even for me. So I was telling this on one of the workshop, because we have this every Saturday for the past 6 months. So this guy took it serious, and he's now doing it. So he had right now done the day 38, and he's doing something. So he's doing something. He's doing a lot of things. Okay, so that is there. Okay, so this is like this you have to do. Okay, so for this guy. Okay, so that is there. And let me now close everything, and we'll start with HTML. Okay, so people are doing. Okay, the next. So this is the second attendance will also be given. Second attendance. Okay, this is attendance number 2. Second attendance will be given later on towards the end. So please do put this attendance form and all. And someone is asking something. Let me tell that thing, and then we'll start with HTML, because we all have come here to learn. And if you're from non-IT background, you should see means how the things are there in the IT. Then you can decide. Okay, someone is asking, I just want to be eligible to enter. I want to be eligible to enter the IT field through. I'm not from IT background. How much time it takes and what all the stuff to learn? Just tell me about short for 2 minutes. So I told that only for the past half an hour, that you do not need to learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React to enter the IT field. There are more jobs than there are people right now in React. Okay, so there are more jobs than people. So you have to do those things. And if nobody gives you job, I will give you job. I will give you job. I assure you that I will give you job. I have React this position throughout the year. People just ping me that they need React.js. I'm in connection with a lot of people in this central India also. Everywhere I have connections. So everybody is asking React.js developer. If you do learn React.js, it's on me to get you the first interview. As simple as that. I will give you the first interview. I will I will send a resume to a lot of people, because even if I tell these things, a lot of people will not do. Even I can give you a job also, because I have service company also, and right now also I have requirement for 2 React.js interns. But that doesn't mean that it is that much easy. You have to do all HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and you have to do React.js. You have to do projects. You have to do at least 20 projects. Five in CSS, five CSS projects you have to do. You have to do five JavaScript projects, at least 10 React.js projects. So those projects are very important. So it is not like just learning. You cannot just go and learn. You have to do those projects also. Okay, so that is the thing which is required to enter in the IT field. Most of the students, my paid students, are also not from IT field. Some in one of my night batch, girl is there who is around having around 6 years of gap, 6 years of gap, and she's a HR, and she wanted to enter this IT field after, because she recruits React.js developers, and she knows how much React.js developers are paid. So she's in my one of my night boot camp. She is there attending that. I do it for working professionals. Then in my night boot camp, I have people, I don't know whether you know or not, in central India, a lot of people after the engineering or anything, they prepare for government jobs, and they base their 6 to 8 years of their life. And I have a lot of students like that, but wasted 6 to 8 years for things like MPPSC and all those things, and they are now learning this React.js to get into the IT field. I have two students. They actually are from a physical batch. I do take physical batch also in Bhopal. So they're from a physical batch. They're from electronics background. They have 6 years of gap, 6 years of gap in the electronics background. And today morning only one of my student just he called me, and he's an electrical engineer, the fourth year electrical engineer fourth, and he just told me, sir, I got placed in Infosys because, and they asked all those things. He didn't even know how to program, and he came to our program and he learned to program all those things. So those things are always there. You learn those HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React. If you want, I can give the playlist also. Learn from it. Do the project. Do 20 projects. Ask me for a job. I will give you a job. Okay, so that is as simple as that. Anybody do those 20 projects, learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and yet I will give them a job. Okay, that's there. And it is not like that you just tell that you know those things. How do I know that you know those things? You tell me that I know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Nowadays, no startup people have time to go through your resume, ask you questions, and all those things, because we don't want those theoretical things in the industry. We want practical things. We want practical process. We want to know that you know how to create projects in React, and then you do it from a channel and all. So first thing, okay, if I'm telling this much, then I will give the playlist also. Okay, give the playlist also, because as I've told, we are going to mainly touch HTML today. Okay, so this is the playlist. Okay, this is the playlist I'll give. Okay, okay, two things are coming only. HTML, CSS, Java. Okay, okay, let me give the complete thing, and this is for everybody who needs a job. Okay, let me do this. So this playlist, it is not allowing me to go. You have to do in this order. Okay, let me give the complete playlist. Okay, so this is the complete playlist. Do as I've told, do I will also write, do 5 CSS projects, 5 JavaScript projects, and 5 React.js project. We will give, and this is what I'm going to do. 5 CSS project, 5 JavaScript project, 5 React.js project, and we'll give you a job. Okay, so that is there. So all the stuff also, you have got all the projects and all, everything I have given you. So just you have to execute it, and trust me, miss, you will see, you will think it is easy. No, it will take around 6 months of your time to do this thing. If you are from a non-IT background, even if you are from IT background, you say I know HTML and CSS. Go through our series, you will know how much you know HTML, how much you know CSS. So you don't know that much. You don't know Flexbox, you don't know Grid. Maybe you know something like Bootstrap around, but that are not used in the industry. Flexbox and Grid are used, so you have to learn those things. Okay, then you have to do. So this will take a non-IT graduates around 6 months to do on his own. So as I've told, we are giving everything for free what is required. I'm giving the path. A lot of people don't know the path. This is the path which you have to follow. This is the order which you have to follow. If you go in the internet, go here and there, go to some other channel. I'm happy if you go to other channel, go to Code with Harry and all those things. If you are into Hindi, and also go to those things, I am very much happy. But you should know this path. You should know this path, that you have to learn this in order. Okay, so some people were telling W3C school on the chat, on the WhatsApp chat. I was seeing that. See, W3C school, you can see. But I know people who are going to the W3C school, and they're stuck in HTML only. HTML only for the past 6 months, because students connect with me all the time. I used to do a lot of one-to-one earlier for career guidance, but right now I don't have time. So students do HTML for six months, 6 months. But HTML, which I'm going to teach today, that is more than enough. You don't have to spend more than 2 days on HTML, more than 2 to 3 days on HTML. If you want to spend some more time, spend on CSS. Someone was asking about the CSS. Yeah, I spend some time on CSS. Sometime on CSS, someone was asking some good question. That when I do CSS, I'm not able to do some. Okay, Okay, some 𝐏𝐚𝐫𝐭𝐢𝐜𝐚𝐿 Mukherjee. Okay, so spend the time on CSS, not on HTML. So that is it. Okay, so let us start with HTML. I talked a lot. So let us. I've given you all the path. More path if you want. We have on Wednesdays. We have at 10 p.m. IST. Please come to that. I solve all the career related issue. And plus, if you're on some WhatsApp group, you can ask us there. But pinging us there, you can ask us there also. What's career path I should take? I'm from a non-IT background. I'm from a mechanic. I'm a mechanical engineer. How I should become something like that. So I think I have opened this. So this was this was some people who got internship from our project, our site and all. And this was someone who pinged me that he was a mechanical engineer and got a job like this, following my channel. And you might be thinking, okay, he got a job for only 12,000 per month. Okay, he's a mechanical engineer. How he got into IT? He got into IT. That's a big thing. And as I've told in starting, you might have to work for free also, for free, do those internship for free also. But after 1 year, you get a 10 lakh package in React. That is for surety. Unless you do some blunder, it is not possible that nobody that you will not get a package less than 10 NPA, 10 lakh per annum. It is not possible in React.js. React.js is so much in demand. So like people will pick you like anything if you have 1 year of experience in React.js. Okay, so that is like that. So enough talking. And now we'll start with HTML because a lot of people here are from a non-IT background, so they will think how to get into this IT background. So I have a lot of folders here. 28. Yeah. I created a new folder like 28 me about shop when so like this I created. And we'll start with HTML. So what is this HTML? HTML stands for hypertext markup language. All the structure which you get in a site, it comes with HTML only. So, and please do like and subscribe if you have not done it yet. Please do like and subscribe. Okay, so that is there. And okay. So HTML earlier, before 2010 and all, people used to write in like Notepad. If you most of you are not that much old, maybe. So people used to write in Notepad or something like Notepad plus plus in Windows. They used to write, but nowadays nobody does that. Okay, there are very good lightweight code editor known as VS Code. Even if your system has a 4 GB of RAM, the VS Code will run. VS Code is a free code editor, lightweight code editor from Microsoft, and it is very much popular. And you should use, and you have to use VS Code because all the in the industry everybody uses VS Code only. So don't go for Atoms or Sublime and all those things. VS Code have got some functions which we are going to tell you. So VS Code, just search for VS Code, you will get this thing, and you'll come here and you'll download it. So I'm using a Mac, so I'm using getting that. There's no difference in using a Mac or Windows. There won't be much. Okay, so you just download it for Windows, and you'll get it totally free to install. Exe is there. If you're finding some issue installing that software, please do ping us on WhatsApp, and we'll do a Zoom call with you, and we will try to solve it how to install VS Code on your Windows system and all. Okay, so that is that. We'll try to do it. Okay, so I don't know on Linux and Mac. I have a Mac, so I know on Mac. And Windows also, I have Windows system also, so I know Windows how to do it. And it is like very easy. Exe you'll get, and you have to install it. Like next, you'll install it. So once you install it, what will happen? You'll get a code editor like this. So these are known as code editors. So you have for non-IT background, these are known as code editors. In this you will code. In this type of code editors, we code the program. So we code programs in this kind of code editors. Okay, so I'll tell the most easiest way. So we need to code. We don't code anywhere. Means we should keep a code always at some place. So in this 28 May workshop, I've created one folder, and Windows also it is like that. So new folder, it is like that. I will create a new folder like HTML and basics. I will do HTML basics. I've done, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to click it, and I'm going to drag it like from. If you are using a mouse, you can press the left button, and you can just take it and put it. And if you are using a trackpad, you just I think from there, I generally don't use that much trackpad. So there also that left click is there. Left click, you track it, and you just move it. So you just keep it there, so it will be shown like this. So the HTML basics will be shown like this. Okay, so now what to do? So now just like we know that every file have got a end, I mean, like extension, like whether it is Windows or Mac, it doesn't matter. So if I go to this my download folder, see I have all the files have extension like JPG, MP4, docx, XLS, and all those things. Different endpoints are there: JPG, PNGs, and docx is for, we know what docx for, doc files and all. So XLS, a lot of us have worked on that. JPG and all images. So like that, even the coding files have got some endpoints like this HTML for HTML files. So we can give the file any name, and then we have to give a dot and then that thing. So I'll give a, like here I'll come and do a index.html, index.html I'll do, and do it like this, index.html, and it will create a empty file like this. Okay, so that is there. Now what we are going to do here, we are going to, we have to create a skeleton for the HTML. So a skeleton means the basic code for the HTML. So they, here the first benefit of VS Code comes, and the first benefit is like I can get a shortcut with which I can create half of the code of the HTML. Means the skeleton code, this is known as skeleton code, although we have to learn a lot of other things. So skeleton code, how do you, I'll do a not like this, and then I'll press the tab, press the tab, not and tab I have done, and then it has given me something known as the skeleton code. And what is this HTML and all? So I'm going to tell about the skeleton code. So this title where the document is written, it is actually this Visual Studio Code which is written here. It will come like in here. So I can write like HTML basics. We will going to soon see how it is come, but let us me explain the rest of the things also from the start, from the line number one. From line number one, there is something known as doctype HTML. So what is this doctype HTML? Doctype HTML means it is HTML version 1, version 5, HTML version 5. HTML version 5. So HTML is governed by a committee known as W3C committee, which sits in the US, of course. So they govern HTML, and they have released the HTML version 5 in 2015. So this is HTML version 5. Doctype HTML is HTML version 5. Before that, HTML version 4 was there. For this thing, we used to write in a different way. So first thing is that this is HTML version 5, and most of the tags generally have a starting and an ending. Like this HTML you're seeing, it has got a starting which will have this like square, this pointed brackets, and it will have a pointed brackets and the starting, and the ending it will have like this ending it will have. Similar to that, everything will have, but some of the tags don't have the ending, like this doctype HTML doesn't have any ending. And then we have this HTML is there, which is wrapping actually two things, head and the body. Okay, so it is the parent of head and the body, two things it is there inside the HTML. And HTML tag means HTML we have some attribute known as language English, because it means the language will be English. So that will be there. And then we have this header tag. We have this header tag. And what is this header tag? Head tags contains all the things which are like required sometime by the browser or some other people. I'm going to tell what. And the title is something which we are, when we're going to see this web page, it will come here in the Visual Studio Code, it will come here. So what is the other thing in this head tag? And body tag, whatever I will write here, it will come in the body here. So but let us first understand what is this head tag. Okay, what is this head tag? In this head tag we have something known as the meta. What is this meta actually? Meta means meta tags. Okay, meta means meta tags. It is not Facebook. Facebook is renamed to Meta, I think most of you know, but it is not something related to Facebook. It is mostly sometimes used by the browser, and a lot of things here are used by Google. Used by Google. So like this character set UTF-8 is there. It is used by the browser because there are different character sets are there, like ASCII and something we might have heard in the school. ASCII I have read in the school like this. So the UTF-8 is also a character kind of a thing, so that you can show different characters. Because of this UTF-8, we can show Chinese characters and Hindi characters also in your Hindi, and different characters also in our browser. Earlier it was using ASCII thing, so ASCII was having very limited sets at that time. Chinese characters were very difficult to show here, because the, so it was something like, okay, there are only 2000 things which you can represent. So if 2000 things are there, so that get filled by only the numbers and alphabets and all those things. Then this UTF-8 and all comes. So you can read what is mainly theoretical right now. So that is there. Then this other things are there, a lot of things which I also don't understand, but this like this, and you also don't have to understand this meta and all those things, this is your end. But as I told, a lot of things are used by Google. Why? So when you create a website, web app or anything, you're going to put it on the internet. You are going to purchase a domain maybe from GoDaddy. In India, most of the people know about GoDaddy only, so they purchase a domain from GoDaddy, put it on the internet. But even if you put it on the internet, how will the people know about your site? Okay, so like the maybe I don't watch TV, but some ad came. Dhoni was telling about when Baroda cricketing goods. Suppose that lady really get a site from GoDaddy and she put that sites on the internet, loading goods. Then how the internet, how everybody will know about it? How if someone in Baroda actually searches for something, so how they will know about it? So what used to happen earlier means now also it happens, but that is something in the digital marketing domain. But what happens in every website, you can in the meta tag you can put some keywords like this. So suppose that lady put the cricketing good shop on the internet, and then she will not like the people will come for that for a cricketing good. Okay, so this is there. People in the internet in Google, they will search like the cricketing bats in Baroda. They will search cricketing bats in Baroda. So if the SEO is good and the keywords are been placed at a correct way, the keywords are been placed like cricketing bats Baroda. In the keyword, the cricketing bats Baroda, cricketing balls Baroda are been placed in the meta tag. Then they will land up in her site, and she pays some good thing in SEO. So they will land up in her site. Why? Because there is something known as Google bots, which actually scans the whole of internet 3 times a day. 3 times a day, they scans the whole of the internet. Okay, so Google has got some complicated things going out there. Okay, so they scans the internet. That's why you're able to see the results on Google. Okay, you search anything, instantly you will get the result. So they search the internet, and then there is something in the search engine optimization, which is again not a development field. That is a something which belongs to digital marketing. Again, a very good field. If you ask me after development, if there are a lot of jobs are there, I'm not understanding development. What is development? And I'm not understanding what is HTML, what is CSS, JavaScript. I will tell you to go to digital marketing. There are only nowadays 3 jobs are there in the market, which are the most number of jobs are there. One is the development, which has got like more than 70 to 80% of the jobs are there in development. Everything is moving to development, even the all those things. Okay, so yeah, SEO. So and the second number of jobs are in digital marketing, because if you every small startups need digital marketing, so digital marketing is the second number job. And there is other thing which is known as video editing. There are a lot of jobs in video editing. I am doing this YouTube live, so like me, a lot of other YouTubers are there, a lot of other companies are there who do YouTubing thing. So they don't have time to edit their video. Actually, I don't edit my video nowadays, but a lot of people edit their video, so they don't have time. So video editors jobs are also there. So these are the 3 jobs which are the most number one. But the most number of one, most highly paid job is the software developer job only. After that, this digital marketing comes, and after that, this video editing comes. Okay, so that is like that. So as I've told, this meta tag are used for SEOs and all, because Google bots scan all the sites, and if the keywords are there, they will find your site suitable and it will do it. We don't have to learn more about it because this is a digital marketing domain that is there. And my knowledge is also limited to these things. Okay, so that is there because digital marketing keep on changing. Okay. So let us learn what I know. So this title is there, and this HTML basics I put, this will come in the title. Then in the body part, HTML is all about learning about different tags. So I will first keep a H1 tag, which is known as a heading. So and I will run like HTML crash course. I write HTML crash course, and then I write a P. HTML crash course I will write. Okay, and what is the H1? H1 is a heading tag, and there are different tags are there out there. So H1 is one of them, and P, and learning HTML is all about learning about this tag. Then I have run P. So P is a paragraph tag. So I will put something from here. I can copy it and I'll put it here. Save it. So now how to see the result, of it. So see the result of it, I have to go back here and go to the HTML basics, and you see that index.html, one index.html is created here. So if you double click on it, it will open in a default browser, which for me it is Safari. It will open in Safari, but I don't want it to be open in Safari. I don't like Safari. most probably you're using Windows, you'll have the Chrome as the default browser. Windows have the default browser as Edge, but there are 90% chances that you have installed Chrome, and Chrome is the default browser. Nobody uses Edge in Windows. So nobody uses that. Okay, so that is there. And now index.html, right click and open with Google Chrome. I do, because this is the Google Chrome which we are using. So Google Chrome I have used, and see what happens in this Google Chrome. Okay, so this is how it will look. This is how it will look. And see here what will happen. This H1 is showing like this big. H1 is showing like this big thing, and paragraph is showing like this. So H1 is like the big headings which you have seen in all the sites. All of these things are there. We are going to learn about these tags only. These tags are the only thing, like these tags are the things which forms your HTML tutorials. Okay, so that is, I'll close this thing. And what is the HTML basics which I have written in a title? See, it is coming in the title. HTML basics is coming in the title. So this is how HTML is written. But we are not going to run HTML in this way. So this is a very old way to run. So we're clicking on the site and then opening it. So okay. So why we're not going to run in this way? Let us see. So suppose I have another paragraph tag. Okay. And now again I cannot have something from the internet. I actually close that site. So where to get this text? So every time you cannot get that text. So for that, another again we will use something which is like 200 years old, which is known as lorem ipsum in development world. It is known as lorem ipsum. And what is this lorem ipsum? Lorem ipsum is like LOREMIPSUM. As I'm telling, it is 200 years old. Why it is 200 years old? It was used in the publishing and graphic design, learn the placeholder text and all those things. It is written. You can go to Wikipedia and learn about it. It is very old. When the paper were invented first, they also cannot get the data from everywhere, so they wanted to have some dummy data, and then this lorem ipsum was invented. It is like a text which doesn't make any meaning, but it is not like completely dummy text also. Means you see it and you will see that okay, it is something, but when you read it, it will not make any sense. So there are a lot of lorem ipsum generators out there. You can go and write this, get it from the lorem ipsum generators and all those things, but we are not going to get it from there because we are using VS Code. We just like the shortcut to create a HTML. We have a shortcut for this lorem also inbuilt. So I'll write this LOREM and I will then press the tab. It will generate the lorem ipsum for me, and then I will save it. And I have saved it, but it is not showing here because it is not auto refresh. How it will show? It is not auto refresh. So I'll have to refresh it and then it will show. So it means that every time I change something, I have to refresh it, then only it will show. But this is not a good behavior. We don't want to do it like this, because in front-end development we don't do it like this. If you're coming from some back-end development, there we have intermediary step, but in front-end development never likes this intermediary step because HTML is a JavaScript which the browser understands. It's very dynamic. Okay, so for that, what we are going to do, if you don't want to do that step, you'll come here in this tab which is known as the extensions tab. So it got some, this tab will have those small programs which are like maybe in a Android phone, you will have that Play Store. You go there and you add you install anything. So a lot of apps come inbuilt. So these are the apps which some small programmers, like the Android apps are also made by some small programmers, not by Google always. So these are also those small apps which are created by small programmers, also known as open source developers. These are open source developers create those programs for free, and these are small programs which add something to the Visual Studio Code, add some functionality. So in this, if you go here and do a live, you search for live, and you'll always see this extension first, which is like known as the live server by this guy known as Ritvik Day. This is one of the top extensions in this world, because what it gives, it's install a live server in your project. Install a live server in your project. What live server it install? So see, install, you'll see some installation or enable something like this. I'm seeing the disable thing which I don't want to click right now. So you see something and you'll right click and open with live server. You'll do from here, or there is another thing, go live will also come here. So let me open it from here. Right click and open with live server, and it will open in my default browser, which is Safari. I don't want it to open it here, so I will close it and I'll open it here only. I'll open it here. So, and it is showing it is open in some port. Don't want to understand much of it. What happens here? Suppose I remove this thing. This API I have removed, and then I will save it. I'll save it. See, I didn't did anything. There was an auto refresh which happened, and it refreshed the browser, and that is gone. But if I come back here, this is still there. It's not refreshed the browser. I have to manually refresh it. So if you don't want to manually refresh it, install this extension. So I will close this thing because we are going to use this extension throughout. So this is the HTML basics is there and all. So as I've told, HTML is all about learning about different tags. That is all about HTML. So already learn about two tags like H1 and P. So we will learn about more of them. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so let us first learn a bit more about H1 and P. So H1, there is not only H1, there are some other tags are also here in H1. There is a H2 is also there, there is H3 is also there, H4 is also there, H5 is also there, and H6 is also there. So all these tags are known as heading tags. So H1 to H6 are there. So they are of different sizes, and all of you have seen these tags earlier. In any website you go, there will be a main heading, there will be a subheading, then the subheading, something like that. Although it will at least use two tags, H1 and H2 at least, but sometimes H3 also, H4 also, H5 and H6 are very small. I have not seen them much, but maybe people use them also. Okay, so H1 to H6 are there, they are used. Then this is the first tag, very easy tag. And then there is this paragraph tag is there. Paragraph tag is like we are seeing it, it gives a paragraph. And let me have one more paragraph, and again I will use a lorem and save it. So it will be shown like this paragraph tag will be shown. And before moving forward, I want to tell one more thing. And I've written all these things. So there is something known as a code. There is something known as code. So I will write HTML tags. HTML tags I'll write, and HTML tag I'll write. And then I will not HTML. It is heading tag. Heading tag I'll write. Heading tag I'll write, and then I will select it all, and we are not communicating with any database. We are not communicating with any database. I'm not teaching database here. Okay, we are not communicating with any database. So this is all inbuilt. This is all inbuilt. So that's why in the HTML, all these websites you see directly, no database we are communicating, nothing we are communicating. Everything is running on my local system only. Just this is, I think you're from a non-IT background, so this is like this is coding editor is there, and this we are writing the code. This is what the person, the coder will see, and this is, you can treat it as a small website. This is how websites are created and all. So this is what the end user will see if you deploy it in GoDaddy. We have not deployed it in GoDaddy. If you deploy it in GoDaddy, then the end user will see this ugly looking website. Okay, so then they will see this thing. This is a very simple website which I've created, which have a heading, which have a key. So that is like that. Okay, so we are not deployed it anywhere. So let's ahead, and this heading tag I have written. And what is this heading tag is like, I will select it all and do a control and the backslash I'll do. So then I'll get something like this. And if I save it, and I will do another thing here, I'll do a paragraph tag. I'll write a paragraph tag, and then I'll do a control and backslash. This is something which is known as commenting, which is known as comments. And if I save it, see, you are not seeing it in the user side. Okay, we are not seeing it here in the output. We are not seeing it because this is known as comments, which is there in almost all other programming languages also. These are for the developer, or for like, if I give you this code which I am going to give you, so you will learn, okay, this is a heading tag, this is a paragraph tag. So this is just like telling what it is. Okay, so that you can know what it is. Okay, so this is heading tag and this is paragraph tag. So the next thing is that this heading tag and paragraph tag, there are actually two types of tags in two category of tags in HTML. One is known as your block level element. One is known as the inline element. So what is the block level element? See, block level elements, these two types of block level elements. Why? Because see, H1 to H6, they're all coming in different lines. So if I put this H2, they're coming in different line, but they could have come in one line also, like this. After this H1, H2 could have come here, H3 could have come here, H4 could have come, H5 could have come, H6 could have come here, and like this paragraph is also there. So this is all could have come here. So this paragraph also could have come here. So but they are not coming, they're taking their own line because they're known as block level element. Even if there is a space, it will take its own line. So most of the tags are block level elements, some of them are inline element. We're going to see one inline element soon. So that is there. And now we are going to see about the link tag, or they are known as anchor tag also. So I'll come and do a link tags, link tags, link tag. Link tag is also something which all of you have seen. All of see, it is like that. All of you, even if you're from non-IT background, it is not possible that you have not visited Facebook, LinkedIn, or anything like that in the past 10 years. Okay, you have to live under a rock to do that thing. So you all have visited those things. You all have seen those links are there. So you click there, it will take you to some other place. So those are there. So href I'll do, and so this autocomplete is also done by VS Code. Here I'll run like right web dev like pwd blog I'll write, and then I'll put a site here in the href. I'll put a site here. So what is this? Anchor tag have got something known as attribute. In that you give the href. Href means what? Href will the site where it will take. And then what I have given here. So let me save it and then we'll see what it will show. So it will show something like this TWD block, and this it will have this underline and purple color. Generally it takes a blue color if you are not visited the site earlier. So this purple color it had taken. Also, okay. So okay. So what will happen like this? Where is this twd.tag? twd.tag is like twd.tag. If I click on it, see, when I take my mouse pointer here, it will change to browse. And again, I'm telling you, all of you have seen this thing. Maybe some styling will be there. See, this is pure HTML code. We are going to learn a bit of CSS also after this. CSS brings styles to the website, okay, and the rest of this thing, or else it will look like this ugly. Okay, so if I click here twd block, if I click here, so it will open my blogging site. Okay, open my blogging site here itself, it will open the blogging site. If I go back, it will be coming in. This is how the links are created. But the problem with this is that the link is actually opening in the same tab. It should not happen like this. So again, when you click some link, maybe anywhere you see some link and you click on it, it will open in some other tab. You might have seen that thing, maybe not remember it, but every time it will open in some other tab, and that is a good practice because you should not take a person away from your main site when they click on something. So how to do that? And that can be done programmatically. So I'll do another anchor tag, and this href, maybe I will have okay, something like okay, I will take it here. My LinkedIn profile, maybe I can take anything. Okay, you can give any website here, like YouTube or anything you want, if you want. You can take that. Okay, so okay, the LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn profile. Save it, and it will show like this LinkedIn profile. And again, if I click on it, it will open in the same tab, but I don't want that. So for that, what I want, there is another thing known as in here, an attribute known as tar get equal to underscore blank, target equal to underscore blank. I'll take, and now let's save it. Target equal to underscore blank. I'll take this is something which you have to take. Target equal to underscore blank. Now I will click on it. I'll click on it. See, it is opening in a different tab. It is opening. I still see some people watching on LinkedIn. Please do come on YouTube and see it, because I'm sending some chats and all. It is not going on LinkedIn. Please do watch it on YouTube. Please do come to the YouTube, and you might get the YouTube link somewhere. So please do come on my YouTube channel and watch it. Okay, so that is there. And see, it is opening in a different tab. It is not opening the same tab. I'll do TWL block. It is opening here only. I'll do this. It is opening in a new tab. So this is what you should do, and you should have this target equal to underscore blank for that. This is a keyword. So that is done. So one more thing is there in this anchor tag. What I want to tell, anchor tag is the inline element. See, there are two anchor tags. They're coming one after the another. Not like the h1, h2 tag. They're coming one after the another. So anchor tags in a different line they're coming. So anchor tag will always come one after the another with a small gap. And so if I have 10 anchor tags also, they will come in the same line, and then until the line is over, they will come to go to the next tag. So this is how the anchor tag is inline element. Okay, so that is there. So done with this. So next we are going to learn about list tags. Okay, so as I've told, HTML, we don't have some other course outside this. With HTML, we teach everything here only we teach for HTML. CSS, as I told, we will touch the surface. JavaScript will touch the surface in 3 hours. It is not possible. We have 5 hours courses running on CSS, 5-hour courses running on JavaScript. Okay, so that is there. And I have list tags, because we're going to see 2 list tags. Okay, so one will be ul will be there, and then here I will have a li, and let me complete it. Item 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ordered list. Okay, one is the unordered list and one is ordered list. Actually, there are 2 different tags. It is not like that you have to use it at once. So I'll save it. So this unordered, ul means unordered list. Ul means unordered list, and li means list item. Hard coded. Yeah, it is hard coded. You have to write this only. This is all hard coded code. Target equal to underscore line. You have to write. It is hard coded so that the link will open in a new tab. You completely right, Deepak. It is hard coded code. So this is always you have to write nothing. It's all keyword. This is known as keyword. All of it is a keyword. Okay, so that is it. So ul. So ul means unordered list, and li means list item. So in the ul, I have list items. If I do this, it will show this dot 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 dot. And then is something known as ol. Ol means ordered list. As the name suggests, ordered list. It will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I add one more like this, Control C, Control V here, it will add one more here. Number it will add. So most of the time you'll see that we use unordered list only, this dot 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 dot. Maybe I'm going to give some grocery list or something, then I will use the ordered list. Most of the time I'll use the unordered list. So that is something is there. Okay, so now we're going to learn another thing which is known as a table tag. So there are a lot of tags in the table tag. You don't have to buy hard them. So this is something which you can go on the internet, maybe the W3 site, you can go and check this table tag. So I will come here and do a table table tags, and actually there are a lot of table tags. So there's some of them are there. The table tags I'll go and I will make a table, and then table is like this. Okay, and then after that I will have a table head, and the other thing which I will have is the T body is table body. The table body I'll have, and here after this table head, so table head will contain. So we're creating a table tag. So table head will contain the header part, and table body will contain the body part. Okay, and that is there. And if you are a lot of people seeing it, if you are liking it, please do subscribe to the channel. It will help the channel grow and reach more people, and they can fulfill their dream of becoming a web app developer. Please do subscribe to the channel also. Please do like the video. Okay, so that YouTube can show it to more people. Okay, please do like the video also. So table head I have done, and in the table head we will have the header part. It's just like the head part of HTML, we have like a body part. So table head will have the table head. So here I will write a TR. Again, a TR means table row. Then I will have a TH. TH means table header. Okay, TH means table head. TH means table header. So I have a name. I'll have a, again I will have a age, and I will have a email. I will save it. So it will show this bold kind of thing, name, age, email, like one after the another. So in a table body, you might have guessed, we'll have the body, means we can have as many rows as we want. So here I will have a tr like this, tr, and in which I have Nabendu, my, not, it is not my age, okay, the age, and then the email I will have Nabendu at gmail.com like this, and dd I have, and then I will complete this. Here I will complete it like this. Okay. Here I will complete it like this. I will have, so you might have guessed. So TR means table, but here we have something known as table data, not table head, table header. Okay, so I'll have more TRs here. So let's save it. So all these things will be shown like this. So these are known as table rows. This is how we create a table. So this is how we create a table. So table is done, and now we are going to see the most important tag in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, everything. This is the most important set of tags. Why this is the most important tag, set of tags, especially in the web app domain, because this is something which make a web app a web app. So when you go to facebook.com, when you have gone to facebook.com for the first time, what you have done, you have registered. You might not remember, but you have to register for the first time, and you have to register with your name, email, gender, and all those things you have to register. So you register there, some other things will also be there, and you register it. So that thing which you have done, which you have written somewhere and submitted, that was taken through a form. So when I submitted it, all the data was taken, and that was taken to the Facebook server located in the US. Yes, Facebook servers are not located in India, so they were taken to the US, and they were located in the Facebook server. They were added in the Facebook server in a database. So that is something which is the complete way in which the internet works. So their data was taken from the browser and stored in the Facebook database in the US. Okay, so that is how it is done. Then when you log in also, although nowadays there is auto login, but that is a different concept, like how auto login works. There is some cookies and all those things are there, but sometimes you have to log in also in Facebook also. So you have to log in. So when you log in again, the some data you have to write, like the username and password. You write it and then click it, and then again it goes to the US, and it checks against your account name and all those things. It is done, and then you go inside the Facebook. Then there is a post thing is there in Facebook. Okay, you go to the post, and also maybe I will show it on LinkedIn. Both the places same thing only. The Facebook, I don't know what it will show. So this starter post is there. So when I click here and I will write something here, again it is very slow. It is very slow, and I will now submit it. Then your post will also be added in the Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever server is there, and that is there. But those adding all those things there, those are taken care by backend engineer. But at least this front end part, like the logging, like getting the user data, is something which need to be done by the front end engineer. What the data someone is including, how to create that form, this good looking form, how to create that thing. So that is there. In HTML we create this form. In CSS we style this form to be good looking and all. So if you remove the CSS from this site, this will be very ugly. And in JavaScript we add those programs which will take the user input and send it to backend through some API call and all those things. That is just something which is very advanced. For if some people are very new here, that will be very advanced. That also we tell. Okay, that also we tell. So that is there. So let us create the form tags, because the first thing is that you should know how to create form tags. And form tags again contains a group of different tags like this. Here we have different tags. Here we'll have more tags in form tags. Okay, so let us do those. But actually we have come very down here. So what I'm going to do, if I add something, it will go very down. So before creating the form tag, we are going to create two more tag, which is one is known as a br macro, and one is known as hr means horizontal rule. So br actually creates some space, and a horizontal rule creates a line like this. Okay, so I will have this again, and I will have a form tag inside it. Actually, I will use br and hr, and then I will have a foreign form tags, form tags, okay, form tags like this, and then let us have this form tags. Form tags goes inside this form. Okay, then I'll have in form tags we have those input boxes and all in which we can give something. Okay, in which we can give something, but those input boxes comes with a pair of label. What is this label? I will tell you. Label I'll have for, I will have a name, and then I'll have a name, then I'll have a input, type is text, id equal to name, and name equal to name. Then I will have this something like age, 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 age number. Let me first show it, then we will going to learn what this is all about. So name, see whatever I have written here in the label, this has come here. Then this box have come, age whatever written, this is come here, and then it has come here. So in the name I can write anything, like I can write anything. Okay, and then in the age I can write any number. I can write any number, and then I can also increment it by this thing. Increment it like this. Okay, any number. So first thing, why it is text and why it is number? Because it is an input type text. It is an input type number in which we enter the number. And then what are this? All of these other things are there. So let's come from the start. One thing is that label and input. Input always come with a pair known as a label. So it will come always with a pair known as a label. So we have to use that label for our input. So input and labels are a pair. So these two are one pair and this two is another pair. So how to differentiate this which belongs to what? So there is a thing known as a for. For it's an attribute. So for here is name. There is something related to id in the input you have to take. For is name and id is name. So this is what make them a couple, for and id. So it is like that both of them have the same thing which will be there. So like that they have a name, they have a name. Similar to here, we have for age, id is age. So this is how they are related. They are related. These two are one and these two are one. Like this they are there, this like there. Okay, this way you will differentiate them. Okay, for an id. Then what is this name? Type we have already seen. What is this type? Type is like input type text is text, input and number is a number. But what is this name? Name is name, name is age, name is name, name is age. As I've told, all of this data is, it mostly goes to the backend server. We're not going to learn backend right now. Backend will be too much complicated, and as I've told earlier, backend developers are different than the front-end developers. Okay, but if you want backend, I have on my channel. So that is there. So this is something, but then also we should know how to send it to the backend. So name is something which will go to the backend, which we are soon going to see. When it will go to the backend is name, will be miss. Name is like some keyword, but here whatever I've taken name only. So that is something, it will go in that thing. Okay, so I could have taken it something different also to not confuse with the name, age, but then it would have looked not nice. Okay, so like this. Okay. So this is like, so it actually we're going to see when it is sent to the backend. This thing goes. We're going to see soon. Okay, how it will, and that's why it is to differentiate when it is sent to the backend, and it is for an ID or for its own, means how to make them unique. So that is like that. So form tags have a lot of this types like input types and all. So form tags, again we're going to learn about them, but before going forward, we should know one thing is everything is coming in one line. Why everything is coming in one line? Because the label is also a inline element, and input is also an inline element. Both of them are inline element. So that's why everything is coming on one line. That is not a good thing. Everything is coming in one line. That is not a good thing. So what we want to do, we want them to come in different length. So if we were doing CSS, we could have used something else, but now what we are going to do, we are going to use something known as div. So what is a div? Div is something which is like a block level element, and if you have seen some HTML code, you will 100% see this div thing. This div thing is very common to divide things in different section and all those things. This div is very common. So we'll have a div, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this inside the div. So because it's a top level element, so I will have this also this inside. Okay, save it. So this will come now in a two different lines because these are block level elements. They are coming. They will come in different lines. So it will come like this. So they're coming in different lines. Now still they're very close to each other. They're coming in different lines. So I can use another div, but that will make the code very ugly and all. So I will do a break row so that it will have some more space because I need that space. So from now onwards, we are going to do like this. BR and a div, we are going to take in all the other tags, which are, because we are going to learn some other tags also here in this HTML only. So I'll move here and do a BR here and div will do. In this div, we are going to learn about now something about we're going to learn about a different tag, and that is a label. Label for is message and message area. So there is something known as text area. Okay, text area. Again, the for is there. So I will first thing which I'm going to have is ID with the same thing as message, and then I will have a name with message. Name with message I will have. But what is this text area? Text area is and one more thing. Text area has an ending also. Input doesn't have ending. So some of the tags doesn't have ending like input, tr, hr, HTML, no, doc type, all these things doesn't have some ending and all. So text area have an ending like this. But what is text area? Text area is this big thing in which we can do multiple things. When I had opened the LinkedIn site, we have this thing like post. So that is also a text area, but that is made beautiful with CSS. With HTML, everything looks like bare bone, not that much good enough. So this text area is like a multiple line I can give. This is a text area. So like this I can do. This is a text area I can do. So this is whatever text area. So now the next thing which we are going to learn is the drop down, which are actually again very common in almost every site you will go. You will see a drop down is there. So if you want to see something which you don't know what I'm talking about, this drop down, just go to Amazon. You'll see everything there. Amazon, you go. This is a drop down which I'm talking about. This is how the drop downs. This is what drop downs, and now you all have seen. It is not possible that you are not visited Amazon site or Facebook site. Okay, might be you're seeing the LinkedIn site for the first time, but it is not possible that you have not visited Amazon on Facebook. Okay, so that is a drop down. That is a drop down. So again, that we create it here only. So table and have a color and have color, and then we'll have a select, and this will have a name of color and ID of color, and then I'll have a option of value is red. It is red color and blue color and green color. Save it. So this color has come like this label, and the color again the foreign idea for their same thing. Name is again something will go to the backend, and in this drop down, as you know, we can select only one thing. Like this, by default the first one is coming, but this then I can choose anything here. Like this drop down is there, right? I can choose anything. So what is this value then? Value is something new which I'm seeing here. So value is something which will again go to the backend. We're going to see is the backend we won't send the red color, blue color or something. We send this red, green or blue to the backend. Okay, so that is again for the backend, this value thing. So that is there, and now we are not done yet. We have to learn two more very two very important things known as the radio box and the checkbox. So what is this checkbox? Okay, checkbox, again I will go to the Amazon and maybe I will select like computer accessories, and I think it's very slow for me because I'm streaming also, so Amazon site is also not showing. Okay, so this checkboxes, I think you know this multiple things. So if this would have an open, you can open on your system. What will happen here? So I can choose different brands. Like with the checkboxes, there will be like all the different brands I can choose from there. So those are known as checkboxes. Okay, so checkboxes are used to choose multiple things. Okay, multiple things. So I'll have a BR again, and then I'll have a div again like this, and then I'll come here and do a H4. See, I'm using H4 also. What? So we can use anything inside it. What do you own like this? Then input type is checkbox. So type is there, which is checkbox. Input type is checkbox, and then I'll have a name equal to vehicle 1, value equal to bike, and I will have a label also. Label I will put it as bike also. So label I have. So see, one more thing, I can have label after the checkbox also. Most of the time we have the label after the checkbox. Okay, so for ID I have given bike, so I have to give the ID also. Again, this value is something which will go to the backend. The ID of also bike. Then I will take this again. I will make a vehicle 2 car 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 car. So it will come like this. What do you want? On bike and car, it will show like this. Okay, so that is like this, and this is a checkbox which I have told. And checkboxes, I can choose one or I can choose both of them. So they actually like behaves like something different. So I can choose both of them in checkboxes, and they're very common in sites like Amazon and all those things. They're very common, these checkboxes. So checkboxes we can use like this. So similar to checkboxes, we have something known as radio boxes. The radio boxes are not that much common, but radio boxes you will see when you go to any site and we register for the first time. So there is something known as gender. It will definitely ask for gender. So suppose I want to give only I want to take only one data from the user. So then this radio boxes are used, which is like in the case of gender, you can have multiple gender. So that is there, and I will come here div, and after this div I'll have another BR, then I'll have a div like this, and then I'll have a H4, and it will be like a gender, and I'll have a input type is radio, and name will be equal to gender, and ID equal to male, and value equal to male, and label for it will be male, and name so name will be gender only, then will be female, 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 like this, and then the so we'll have like this. Okay, we'll have like this, and now this is checkboxes. You all have seen these checkboxes also, and checkboxes are something like you can choose only one of them, like male or female. If I choose the female, male will be gone. If I choose the other, female will be gone. So it is like this. Okay, so again, so there is one more thing. There is a difference between a checkbox and a radio box from the code point of view. See here, the name I have taken vehicle 1 and vehicle 2. Here all the name are same. Radio boxes, you can, all of them are a group. So radio boxes are also known as radio group, but checkboxes are sort of different. I can send this also to the backend, or I can send both of them. So that's why I have the vehicle 1, vehicle 2, maybe vehicle 3 will be there, it will be vehicle 3. So that is like this. But we have done all these things. Now we want to submit this. Now we need to submit this. So when we register, we have a register button and all those things. So how do we have the button? So creating a button is also we can do it through form. So I'm inside a form only. I'll have a in br and a div. So we'll create a button now. So button here we can create it again with the input type submit and value equal to send. Here value is like different. Value is only the, so a button will be created with a value of send and type is submit. Type is submit, so it will create a button. Input type submit. We don't need anything else here. So we have a button, and through this button we can submit all of this data. Let us try to submit this data. So I will come here and write this down. So this is message blue color by car mail. See, I will click on the send. See, you see here something happened in the top. So this is the default browser behavior of the browser. Someone was asking today PHP. Actually, when internet started in 1995, PHP was the preferred backend language at that time. So PHP used to work in a way in which we used to send the data to the browser. This URL we used to send the data. Okay, so with one div we cannot write the entire program. Yeah, you can write the entire program. So but we didn't write a div for that reason. We write a div because div is a block level element. We want to show everything at the each row. So I didn't even use div here. So there was no div here. I just introduced div here only. Okay, I just introduced a div here. If you div was introduced, why? So you might have joined up. If you're joined seen from the starting of the form, you might have seen that everything was coming in one line. We have used div because we want everything to come in a different line, because div is a block level element, so that's why we put it like that. Okay, so I hope that is okay. So I will give this code, try to play with this code, try to change something and all. So try to do that. I'll just give this in the description. All this code will be there in the description. So it has submitted something like this. I will actually cut it. I will actually cut it, and I will even paste it, and I will keep it here only because then you can refer it, and I will comment it. So commenting is used for this reason also. Sometimes some code we don't want to show, so I've commented it, anyways it will not be shown. So that is that. I was telling the name is very important. See the name here, whatever I typed, name actually this name is taken, name equal to whatever I typed, it has gone. Then Abhindu plus Biswas. Then age is what? Age is this age equal to that. Then message equal to that. Then see the color is again like this name. Name is there. Color is like red is going, not red color is going. See, no, whatever I taken blue. Okay, so blue is going, not blue color. Then vehicle one is equal to bike is going, and vehicle two is going different. But again, the gender is only one of them is going. Gender equal to male, whatever is the value. So this is why this name was very important. Okay, so that is one thing, and one more thing is there. So we have this send is there, and this is what it is doing. It is now just sending it, and whenever we have a button inside a form, it behaves in a different way. Actually if I just send it like this, it will actually refresh the browser. If you see closely, it will refresh the browser. So button inside a form, it refreshes the browser because it tries to send this data, and if you enter some data, it will send this data and it will make it empty. So there are normal buttons also. So this is like this. There are normal buttons also. So the normal button, let us see quickly a normal button. Then I want to show one more thing. Okay, so I'll have a button tag. Yes, and it will have a wait, I'll have save it. So now see I have a button here, and but I click on this button, nothing will happen, no refreshing or nothing is happening, because we put all the functionality here through JavaScript. Through JavaScript we put the functionality here. Okay, so that is there. And one more thing I want to tell here before moving forward, which is like input types. So there are actually different input types are there. There are different input types are there, and okay. So different input types are there and all. Okay. So I've told a lot of input types. Actually, we have spent most of our time in discussing the input types only. But there are more input types than that. So I want all of you, okay, I want all of you to go through this link, maybe go through this link, go through this link, and learn about the input types from here also, because what happens is 2015, in 2015 a lot more input types were introduced, because HTML version 5 came, and I cannot go through all of this I cannot go through, and some of them are very important, so please go through them. So like that, I've covered most of them, which used to be come before 2015, but there are a lot more are also there. So only this is something which I want you to do from this W3C school site. Rest of the things, please don't come here, you will be confused, you will be in this site for the next 6 months. See, it has got so much data, but and we don't use all of these things. So that's why people who come to this site do this thing for six months HTML only. So this site is very dangerous actually. It has got over information. Dangerous because it has got over information. Okay, so that is there. And so one thing is, so only this link. Okay, so this input type date is there. So this is actually very cool thing. Input type data will come. So see, only input type date I have given. Okay, and then if I click here, I can actually choose the date. See, this seems to be very easy, but it is opening a calendar. Earlier, before 2015, this used to be very complicated thing, and we used to do it with your JavaScript and all, sometimes taking some other external thing and all. So it was very difficult. So input type get nowadays they have made HTML also very easy. So that is there like this. And then one thing that is very important, when this input type file is there. See this in, if you go to Naukri or sites like that, what will happen there? There is an input type file is there. In that you can click on choose file and you can choose anything, like you can choose your resume and all. So you all might have seen, choose your resume then submit it, it will all be working like that. So again, this is very common. Yeah, this is very common. So that is there. And now we are going to look into the last topic in HTML before moving to CSS. So the last topic is like we're going to look into images. So for images, I'm going to unsplash.com, and maybe I will choose this image. I will choose this image, and this I will do, and I will choose a medium image. Unsplash.com is a free site. You can go there and get the all the royalty free images. You don't have to worry about everything. So this is image is with there. I will click it. It will be there, and then okay. So this image is there. Let me create a new folder here, images, and I'll go inside it, and I'll put this image here. I'll write here unsplash.jpg. So make it a bit smaller. So unsplash.jpg is there. So I have this images folder, in which is unsplash.jpg is there. So how to show it? So we will come here and show it with, like, first let me do a br also. We'll do a image tag. Come here and do a img image, and src is the place in which you have to give the path to the image. So I will have a images slash splash.jpg, and alt I will take write it as surface surface because it's a surface laptop actually. So I will save it and I will come here and you see this big image. I don't want this big image because I have to scroll it like this and then only it will be correct. Okay, so I don't want this big image to be there. Alt is what we say later on. So with the image tag in HTML, we cannot control much. Okay, so if you want to control, we can control it through your CSS a lot. Okay, without this. So let us try to do the a bit of control we can do here. I can give a width of like maybe 300 and height of maybe 200. So I will save it and it will be shown like this. Width and the height of it will be shown like this. Okay, so this is how you show images. Okay, and width and height only is there. We are soon going to see CSS where we can have much more control and we can do a lot of things, but here we cannot do much, just we can do this thing. And now what is this alt surface? What is this tag? So source, you might know that we give the image source, and even we can take the image from the internet also. So I will come here and do the image, and maybe I will click on this image only. Copy. So you go to any image, you can do the copy image address also like this. Okay, copy image address, and I will save it actually to give me something big like this, and then surface laptop, save it. And again it will show this big image, and maybe again I'll do this with 600, 400, save it. So the second one is coming like this, 600 and 400. Okay, so what is this? An image tag is again an inline tag. So what is actually is alt surface and all these things, surface and all. So all of you might have when you visit a site in which there are a lot of images, sometimes that site will show some broken images, which all of you might have seen. It is not possible in India past 10 years. If you're using the mobile phone, it is not possible that you've not seen the broken images. Sometimes it's because of the developer do some mistakes in giving the path, and sometimes most of the time it is like the internet issue. Internet suddenly go away and it is not able to load that site. There are multiple reasons. In the area which you are going, the internet is not there, and all of a sudden you're going to jungle and the internet is not there, and it will not show. It will show the image as some broken image. What happens? It tries to load the site, but then the internet goes away. Then you will see this broken image. So let us make one image as like broken and all. Okay. So I cannot close my internet. So I will maybe I'll add the like this. I will make the this as wrong. The path as wrong. So I'll save it. See now, okay, it's not going away like with this. Okay. So let me make this wrong. Splashes, save it. So see, I made that wrong. Now what is coming? There is no unplashes or JPG. So this surface is coming and this broken image has been shown. So this is known as a alt. Whenever this is been shown like this alt will be done. Okay, this is like that. So we're done with HTML actually, and we are going to quickly do into CSS. Although we don't have much time, so we're going to learn touch a bit of CSS and then a bit of JavaScript, and then we'll call it a day, and that will be there. So let us do the CSS. I will do it in a different folder like CSS Basics. I do. You'll get tomorrow. You'll get by tomorrow. The certificate will get by tomorrow. Because there are a lot of people who do this thing. Okay. Get by tomorrow. On the mail you will get the certificate. Please enter the correct mail. But you have to fill the second one also. How long time takes to complete the web development course? What web development? So there you want to complete from our channel, you want to do the paid workshop or whatever, you have to specify that thing. So from the channel I've given a playlist. It will take you So there is a Google form which we have given earlier on this chat. So you have to fill that Google form. Without that, you will not get the certificate. So you scroll up somewhere, the form will be there. So I think you are a bit late. So you have to scroll up. There is a form there, and you have to fill that Google form. Then only you get the certificate. It's not like that. You get the certificate like that. Okay. So that was given towards the start. Okay. So this we are going to do this CSS. So Bharti Kanan. It takes if you are going to, okay, if you are going to means one sec. I mean, I'll do one thing. Okay, I'm tagging that, I'm pinning that message in which the first attendance was given. Yes, please do that. Okay. Should have filled it earlier. So that is there, and so CSS we are going to start, and web development it takes around 6 months. If you are a totally beginner here, Bharti, it will take around 6 months. And I have given the playlist in this channel. Or you maybe Mausam will give the WhatsApp link to our WhatsApp group if you're not in the WhatsApp group, and you can ping us in that WhatsApp group. We will mentor you. Means when we have time, we'll mentor you. We'll put you in the right path. So that is there. So this CSS basics I will do. We'll do the CSS basics now. So CSS basics I will put here, and okay. I cannot explain Angular right now. Angular is there on my channel. If you want Angular, please go to the channel. And as I told, I mainly teach React, but it is not like that. I don't teach Angular. Angular I teach both in my corporate training and even on the channel is there. But we focus more on React. Maybe you're coming from service background, so that's why you're asking about Angular. But Angular we have on my channel, and I'm planning to have. So if you go to our channel, you'll find out that we have classes like daily. So we have like live sessions like daily on main usp like Monday to Friday. We generally run 3 courses, so that are our prime thing. So Angular will be done in the June month. So 5 days of Angular course, certification course will be done. So we are all about certification. So we run these 5-day courses in which certificates are given in those 5-day courses also. That is like 1 hour each on each day, Monday to Friday. So we most of the time we run 2 courses a day, but sometimes we run 3 courses a day also. So that is like that, and Angular will be there. Second attendance will be given towards the end. So this is not the end right now. Okay. So second attendance will be given towards the end. As I told, this is not the end. We're not ending right now. We still have more than 40 minutes to go. So index.html I'll do, and we are going to learn CSS now. Okay, we are going to learn CSS, and a bit of CSS we are going to learn, and okay, no problem. You have only attendance form. Okay. So this index.html will be given, and CSS, for CSS we have like this another file. We have a style.css. Style.css is there. Okay, and so here we can write all the styles. So CSS file like this. CSS file is like a external file. This .css. We have some other way also. Please do attend our complete CSS beginners to advanced program, which we run a lot of time in a month. And as I told, we are going to touch the surface of the CSS only. CSS takes around 5 hours to teach. So this style.css will put all the styles of the styles here. So CSS is like a different than HTML. It's a different language kind of. Okay, but it's add beauty to everything. Okay, it's add beauty to the HTML sites. So let me do a not here, and I will write a CSS basics, and I will actually go live here. So as we're using live server, so it will be shown like this. So nothing is there right now in this file. So here I will come and do a h1. Okay, h1, and it's like the two attendance song, CSS crash course, CSS crash course, and all. So I will have this h1 CSS crash course. So how to style this? So this is like this, it is coming like this, and okay, so this is like pure HTML. So now I want to style it. So CSS is all about color and different styles and all this. So I want to style it. So here I'll go in this, and h1 I'll do, and then I'll do a color as blue and save it. So nothing will happen. And CSS is given in this way. We target some element like this h1 I'm targeting, and CSS is all about learning about the different properties. First thing is that I'm targeting this h1, then I'm writing this color, which is like the properties. There are a lot of properties are there. So color is one of the property, and I'm writing the color name like blue I have written, but it is not showing here because we have to link the HTML with the CSS. So I'll come here and do a link and CSS. So I have to link. This is how we link the CSS, like rel styles it, href is style.css. I'll save it. And now it is blue color. Now it is blue color is coming like this. Okay, so this is how we style the CSS. Okay, so that is there. And now we can have something more also like this. Actually, like best place to learn CSS. We have a T also, and here I'll have a lorem 40 maybe, and save it. So we'll have something like this. Now we are going to style these things and all. So let's style these things. So h1 is there, and h3 maybe, h3 background color is, so there is something known as background color also. So background color I'll put as light uh, so all these things are there, and there's some other ways to take color also, which is again there in our full course. Please do that. Okay, so I'm a background color, we'll put a background color like this, and then I will have a color like maybe dark magenta. I can have like this, save it. So it will be like this. So it is showing very close to each other. There is something known as a padding also here in CSS padding. So see, I'm giving different properties, and you can give a hundred of properties also to each of the elements. So I'm giving different properties. So padding, I will give like there is something known as a pixel, like 10 pixel I'll give. So what is this pixel? Pixel is like the unit of measurement in CSS. There are some other units of measurement also, but this is the most common unit of measurement, and 10 pixel I have given. So it will, pixel means it is all way around. Some, see, you see the difference, some space will be added, see some space is added all way around, and it will look very good. So this is how the history is there. So now let us learn about something more like fonts. Okay, there is something known as fonts. Fonts are there in almost every other thing. Also fonts are there, so we'll have fonts here also. So fonts like in MS Word there is fonts, so like this. So I can do something in the body also. Body, so body is the, this thing, this body. Generally in the body we give the background color, so it will be coloring the whole of the website. So I'll give a background, and the background color as light blue, save it. So a light blue color will be given in the background, and it will be looking like this. Okay, so then there is something known as a font family. Font family I will do. In font family I will take as Arial, Helvetica, and Sans Serif. Okay, so see how the font has changed. Generally we take more than one font. Rest of the fonts are known as fallback font. If for some reason the first font is not available on the browser, because browsers are generally made by different companies, like this Chrome is made by Google, and all the other browsers are made by other companies, like Edge is made by Microsoft, Safari is made by Apple. So it might happen that some font is not there in some other browser, so then it would go to the second font. But most of the time the primary font only will you take, like the Arial will be taken, and it will look like this. So this is the fonts. Okay, so beside this, we can have some other nicer fonts also. Okay, and we'll have this nice font here in this paragraph. So let us add some color to this paragraph also. Color is like dark blue, and background is like background color is light like pink. Heading is like 10 pixel, so it will look like this. And now we can have some very good fonts also, because these fonts are very old. So there is again a free service known as Google Font, which gives us a lot of fancy fonts and good looking fonts. So go to this site, and I will have to remove this one, and we can see all this new kind of fonts here, and we'll just take some fancy font and all. So okay, so I will take this one. Okay, Balka font, whatever. So I have to do this, select this style, and then I will go here, and I have to go to this import. So it will show me this import statement. So you have to take whatever it is like that. Here you will take, and I'll come here and do the import like this. And I don't want to take this one in the whole of the body. I want to only to take this one in the paragraph. So I will go to the paragraph. Okay, I will go to this paragraph, and certificate process is like you have to fill both of the forms, both of the attendance form, and then you will get the certificate on your mail. Okay, so that is it, and that is all only a participation certificate. Okay, so that is there. And this font family, now this font family is known as Balka, whatever it is known as. So Balka, it is there. So I have to copy this Balka and do this, and then it will help us necessary. So whenever we take a Google font, we have to give it in a quotes, and then we have taken it like this, and we'll save it, and then I will come and see this font is been shown like this, nice looking like this thing is there. Okay, so this is how it will be shown. So now what we are going to do here, so it is very small also. No, I have not imported any library for CSS, so this is no library. CSS again, HTML, CSS, everything is like it is inbuilt in the browser. Okay, so no library, everything is inbuilt in the browser. See, it is all clean, nothing is there. Okay, so we have not imported anything, everything is clean, no library, just coding. Okay, so this is there, and this is how it will look. And we can again increase the font size is very small, so I'll have the font size as maybe as 15 pixel, or 22 pixel maybe. 18 only is good. Okay, so this is like this, it is shown. So that is there. Now what we are going to learn, we are, so I'm going very fast because we need to finish everything. Need to see some CSS also, and no, JavaScript also. Okay, so let us create a form. Actually, we'll create a form now. So let us create a form, and then we are going to beautify it with CSS. So I will go here, and here after this I will have some BR and BR. Here, because I want my form to be in between some HRs. Okay, so then again we'll have this form. Okay, form we'll have, and then in CSS we have something known as classes. So classes and IDs. So classes and IDs are used to differentiate anything. Like most of the time you might have 3-4 H1s or 3-4 H3 in the project. So we want to differentiate it, or else and I want to have everything. Like suppose I have another P, so how I will differentiate it? So for that we have the concept of classes and IDs. Both of them are like same, but IDs are something which you can give only once. So we will I can use direct this form and I can directly style it. But we have something known as classes, and like classes, we put it in HTML and we use it in the CSS or JavaScript. So I will have this form. So these are like unique identifiers. So I have this class equal to my dash form. I can have this like this, and then this will be similar to this form. Will be actually similar to what we have there in our HTML. We have created one form. It will be similar to that. So I'll have a div of, again I'll have a class equal to form group. Anything I can take, any name I can take, it doesn't matter. I'm taking this label for, again this is for name and input type is text, id equal to name like this, and name equal to name. Then this is like this, and then I will have two more fields here, name, same like that. I will have a age, I'll have this age. Then let me have one message also, message text area also. So again this form group, I will have this message message and this will be text area, and text area have an ending. And finally I will have a button. I can directly have. Don't want this thing. Input type submit and value equal to send, and I will also have a class here because I want to differentiate it. So I'll have a class equal to button like this. I'll save it. So it will again show this ugly kind of a form. So same, but it is showing it in different line because I've taken it inside a div. So this div I have taken so that it can show it in different. If I not take this div, it will all show it in the same line, because everything generally in a form, everything is like a label and input are, they are like inline elements, so they will show it online. So now let us beautify this thing. Okay, and then we are going to add some functionality to it also through JavaScript. Okay. So that is there. So I'll come here and do this style and do this my form, and then I'll do a padding of 20 pixel. I'll do padding of 20 pixel. So as I've told, this padding gives something around it, it is given. So this padding, it will give a space around it, and this is how we do this classes. See, classes we always do with this dot. So this is how we select the labels and all, h1, h3 and p, and the classes we give it with the dot. We give it with this dot, the classes will be there. So this my form dot, it is like this. Okay, so now I want to select this form group. So I will select this form group. Let us select this form group. So come here and do a dot of form group, and here first thing is that I want a bit of space at the bottom. When we are doing this HTML, we have done the same thing with a break row. A break row we have put it here, but I don't want to put a break row here. We'll do the CSS way. So I will do a padding. So padding generally is all way around, but I have something known as padding bottom also. Padding bottom, I will take it as like 10 pixel and take it and save it. So a bit of padding bottom will be created. So that is there. Now the next thing is there. I will select this label. Select this label, and because see what is happening right now, label and everything is coming in one line. So in this label and this input are also coming in one line, but I want both of them to come in different line. So how to do that? They're coming in one line because they both of them are inline element. Label is also inline, input is also inline. So either I can use a br or I can use a div and all those things. I can do those things, but there is another way also here, which is like this is the inline element, but I can change it to a block level element. I can change it to block level element. How do I do that? I will do a display of block. I'll do a display of block. I'll do, and I will save it. Let's see. Now it is coming in its own line. It is coming in its own line because I've done it a display of block. From inline element, it has changed to a block level element. It has changed to block level element. So that is there. Now I'll make this form even more beautiful. Means like I will have this thing go towards the end. Have both of these things, all of these things go towards the end, and all three things. I have to choose all three things. Either I can give style for all three things differently, or there is one more way. I can have a common class here. Okay, common class here, and that common class. Uh, or okay, let us not do that thing. Let us not take a common class. I found something else also here. So like this IDs are also there. So these IDs are different. We can target the IDs also here. So IDs can be done in CSS also. So I will do here. I will come here and do a hash. IDs are given by hash in CSS. Hash name, comma, hash name, comma, this. So I can give multiple styles by this. Hash name, comma, hash age, comma, hash message. You can select it like this. Then the first thing which I'm going to do is I'll make the width as 100% and select it. See, width will go till the end. But then there is another problem. If I put it, it is very close to each other. So I want some padding inside this input box also. So what I'm going to do, padding as 8 pixel like this, and I'll save it. So now the padding will be there. So I can do it like this. Okay, so and even the padding is here also. So my form is already good looking. So the one thing which is not good looking is this send button, which is like very ugly. So how to style it? So we will style it very easily like this. We will have this button here. So this button I'll do, button is a class, so dot button. So I'll do a padding. Padding is like a universal thing. You give padding in everything, and everything will be like very good looking. So padding 15 pixel, maybe I will make it a 12 pixel like this. Okay, 12 pixel, it is looking good. Then the next thing which I'm going to go is the border as none. By default, everything is a border, so I can give a border as none also. So border as none, border will go. Now the color is not very good looking, so I'll make the background color as I generally make it a dark. So dark magenta and save it, and it will be like this. Now I cannot see what is there inside it. So I will make the color as white, and it will be like this. Now there is another property known as text transform is like uppercase. Text transform is like uppercase, and now like this it will be everything will be uppercase. And now the button is very much pointed, so it's better to do as a border radius as 5 pixel I do, and like this the pointed border will go away. So button is looking very good, and we just have to now always, you have seen a button, when you hover over a button, any button, it generally changes to pointer and changes the color. So that is done by something known as a hover property in CSS. So hover is a pseudo kind of property, and that we have to do like this button dot button, and I will do the hover, and background color is like dark blue color. We don't have to give background color, will be like dark blue. So I'll save it. So see, if I move my mouse over it, it will be like dark blue. And one more thing is always required in a button. Whenever I move my mouse over it, the cursor should be pointer. Cursor should be like a hand. So cursor should be like this hand, so that I can know I can click over here. So that is like this. So our form and all is done. So this is done. And now we are actually going to learn about the JavaScript, because CSS is not that much. CSS is a very long thing. It takes 5 hours, and we run a lot of CSS certificates also on the channel, like 5 days certification, so that you can attend. That was done recently. So will be done again. I think next week it will be done. Next to next week it will be done. So you can attend that, and that's like complete CSS. We teach everything from Flexbox grid, everything we teach there. So please do attend it. And JavaScript also, we have like this certification, like 5 day certification. Again, we teach everything. And I'm going to quickly show something in the next 10-15 minutes, because I need to wrap it up by 5:45. So let me show something here. Okay. So I'm just going to show an example of how JavaScript works. So before that also, we need to do a lot of theoretical thing in JavaScript and all. So that is done in the major class. What I'm going to teach now today, it is generally I teach it in the third day of the class. Okay. But since we have a form and we don't have time, so because people have asked a lot of questions, and that was good that people asked a lot of questions. Okay. So we are going to add some functionality. Means at the end of the day, CSS is only used to beautify this thing. But if you want to get the user data, which is one of the main thing of a front-end engineer, then we used to use JavaScript, and we want to add some functionality in the, like this send button. I will click. So then also we need some functionality. So that is something which we are going to do. And for that, what we need to do here, first thing is that we need to select everything here. So we need to select everything here. So for that, first thing, we need to have a JavaScript file. Okay, JavaScript file is like different from a standard CSS file. So I'll come here and create a JavaScript file again. So main.js. All right, this is a JavaScript file. JS means JavaScript. It is the programming language which comes behind this. Okay, so and JavaScript file also we have to import it somewhere. Like this, we have added the style.css. We'll add the JavaScript file. JavaScript file we always add it at the end, and we add it with this script tag, script src main.js. Main.js I've written. This is how we add at the end. Before the body ends, we always add it here, not in the head part, because JavaScript is a blocking kind of a language. So what happens, we add it at the start. All the JavaScript code will run first, then only your HTML will load. So that will make your website very, very slow. So always do JavaScript at the end, like this. And then we'll add the JavaScript. JavaScript is a programming language. Maybe you will see some issues, some complications here. Yeah. And as I've told, I'm just jumping to day number 3. And and what I'm doing is known as DOM programming in JavaScript, or vanilla JavaScript also it is known as. And this same thing you can do it with React also. So that is something which if you attend all those classes, then you will know. So in this way of programming, we need to first select all the elements. So first we will select this my form we are going to select. So for that, we need to come here and do yeah. So I want to do a const my for any variable. Const is, through const we can take a, it's a variable name. It's like a variable name. It's like something which is there, like in the computer memory. You can learn about this. Like document.query selector is something which comes with JavaScript, through which we can select something. So I will select this dot my form, because it's a class. So that's why dot my form I had done. Then I am going to select all these 3 things, like this name, ID, and message. This all these things I'm going to select. So const name input to document dot query selector, and when I will select it through the ID. So when the ID is there, so what happens, we don't have to take a dot, we have to take hash. Again, like CSS, ID are with hash and classes are with dot. So then const age input, like this. Const message input is like this. And now what happens in JavaScript, see, or else in the browser. So whenever some button is there, so how will the browser knows that you clicked on that button? So there will be constantly, continuously, something will be listening for that click, and that is known as the event listener. So this is how it happens in the internet. there will constantly something will be running in the background. Constantly it will running, waiting for the input. It will running and waiting for the input, and that is known as the event listener. So what is the event listener? I'll do this my form. I'll do this my form, and listen dot add event listener. Add event listener and submit. The submit event listener is something like it will wait for the submit of this form. So this button type submit is there, so it will wait for the submit of this one, and this on submit is there. Okay, so then I'll have a function and on submit, and it will take a e, and I will make a e, and let me have this so we have something known as console.log, which is something like a developer thing, and I'll show all these things here: age input and console message input dot value. So dot value, whatever I type here, it will be shown. What is console? Console is again a developer thing. Is no normal person when they use a browser, they use it like this. A developer when they use the browser, they will open right click and do a inspect. In the inspect, you in the elements you can see all the HTML, and the console is something in which you can get some of the data which I'm doing, like console.log I'm doing. So I will get the data here. So let me enter everything like here, and age like, and I will enter like this. This is a message like this, and I will click on this send. So when I will click on this send, see what will happen is add event listener is listening for this submit. Add event listener is listening for this submit. The moment I do this submit, the moment I do this send, what will happen? This will run. This function will run. This is the function. This is again something in JavaScript in which we divide everything in a small functions. Which we divide everything in small function. JavaScript is a functional programming language. Okay, it's not a object-oriented programming language like Java. And it's a functional programming language. And again, all these things will be taught in a very slow manner, very good way in the JavaScript certification, which is maybe I think next week only JavaScript certification will be there. So that is there, and I will now click on the send. Let me see where it is coming. So when I click on the send, it actually came for 1 second and it gone away. So see, it is like it is not happening. It is not happening. See, because what happens in JavaScript, and not in JavaScript but in the browser. Okay, so let me save it here. So what happens here? It has come for 1 second and it is gone away. As we have seen this when we are doing the HTML thing, that the everything is sent here, and it is like the browser is refreshed. This is done because of the old kind of a thing which I've told, like when internet was invented, like at that time the HTML was there in the front end, PHP was always in the back end. In fact, Facebook, the first version of Facebook was made with PHP in the back end. First version was made with PHP. Then it has gone through a lot of iterations and all those things. Then it has got changed and all. It is the biggest site in the whole world. So that is like that. So first iteration of Facebook was made in which year? 2005. It was made. Okay. So that is there. 2005 it was made. So at that time it was okay, like that's PHP, it is refreshing and it's going like that. Then JavaScript took over everything. JavaScript took over everything. Then what happened? Now this refreshing of the browser is not a good thing. So it actually refreshes the browser. So when we use a JavaScript code, we always in a function we have to do this thing: e.prevent default, e.prevent default. We have to do e.prevent default. We have to do, and then I will save it, and like this. I'll do, and then I will do a name, like a name, and age I will do like this, and this is a message I'll do again, and then I will do the send. This send I'll do, click on this send. Now see, everything will come here, and actually it didn't refresh the browser, it didn't send everything here. So e.prevent default is it says that prevent the default behavior, which is like submitting everything and refreshing the browser. And this is how we do it in JavaScript. This is how it works, and there is a lot of other things in JavaScript. This is just I said something more in JavaScript. So I was directly gone through day number 3, and that is it. And I will give the second attendance sheet now. Okay, so mark your second attendance. So please mark your second attendance here. So please mark your second attendance here. What is this one? So this mark your second attendance here. And we're done with it. Hope you all liked it. What we have done with HTML, we have told everything in HTML, but CSS and JavaScript we have not told much because there is a lot of time required to do CSS and JavaScript. So, but as I told, we do everything on our channel. Means every week we do a lot of things from Monday to Friday. You just go through our back of the channel. You go to a channel, subscribe to a channel, and see what we do in the whole week. We will do everything. So even if you want the exact path, I have given the exact path, and so that is something which I cannot tell in this thing. How will you make front end communicate with backend? So that is something which is like way advanced of what I'm doing here right now. And if you want the front end to communicate with the backend, there is something known as API endpoints which are there. And please do attend this in order. Like HTML we have done, CSS attend, then in JavaScript, when we are going to do the JavaScript, then we are going to learn how the front end communicate with the backend. But we are not going to create the backend. There is one thing known as how the front end communicate with the backend, but that is another thing to create the backend, because there are a lot of things on the internet which are there, in which we get the ready-made backend and all those things. We will see those things, and that are known as the API endpoints. So API endpoints are there, and so those things we are going to learn. But please do those things. Attendance. Oh, attendance is not. Again, this same thing is coming. Okay. Attendance. I don't know why it is not going. Attendance. Okay, actually, it has not gone to the. Oh, now it has gone. Sorry. Yeah, that was a good good thing you have seen. The second attendance is there, so it has not gone for some reasons. Please fill the second attendance. And as I told you, Deepak, this all these things are being taught. Means you attend everything like the CSS and JavaScript and all. So this is very advanced JavaScript. How we are going to communicate the front end with the back end, and that is actually the end of our JavaScript class. Like that is something which generally we teach on the day fourth or fifth, like that. Means that is a very high end thing. Okay, so not a high end thing and all, but there is something known as API endpoints, which are generally created through the backend API endpoints, and that is how the backend and the front end communicates with the API endpoint. And the backend keep into thing like that. The data it gets from the database. Then these API endpoints are created with languages like Node.js and Java and all these things. Okay, so hope you have liked it. Hope please do subscribe to our channel. See, we do so much because of you only, to you to become a web app developer. We do all these things for you to become a web app developer, not for someone else. Okay, it's not for someone else. We do all this for you only. So that is there. And with this, we'll end here. And next week we might have that your 2-day boot camp. Please have keep in the group. Okay, if some of you are not from okay, so maybe I will, some of you are not from here, so I will give a group info. I will give one of my group link, WhatsApp group link. Okay, so please do join this group. So I'll give a one of our WhatsApp group link. So please do join this group. Okay, it's going. Please do join this group, and you'll get all the information what when some class is going on, or you just join on LinkedIn, and then you'll see what we keep on posting whatever will go for each week. Okay, so hope you liked something. Please do like and subscribe, and I'll meet you all on Monday. From Monday, we generally have we'll have two live streamings, and then you on Monday only we'll say which classes we'll start, because we have 5-day classes from Monday to Friday. So most probably we are going to have one JavaScript class, and we are going to have one front end mentor class. Okay, that is something which we are going to tell. And thank you all for attending. It was nice to have so many of you in this till the end. Like 20 people like are still in the end. So that is good. And with this, I'll end to this stream. Thank you all for attending, and please do attend our CSS and JavaScript to learn more about CSS and JavaScript and get the